For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah. What's up? This is our boy, Coach Malik Williams, back in the building. Represent for New Media Today, USA Boxing. We back, y'all. We back, y'all. You see what I'm saying? You know, we're going to talk about nothing but boxing. You know how we like to do it over here. You know, no fanboyism. If you're a fanboy, this is not the channel for you. But other than that, man, I just want to salute everybody. We're going to let YouTube do what it do. Send everybody out the alerts. Trying to charge my phone up, guys. Send everybody out the alerts. Let them know that we're on live. You know what I mean? So some people get the alerts, some people don't. But that's fine. We're not going to be able to take phone calls today. I'm still setting up my my Rodecaster Pro. Still setting it up. It's plugged in right now, but I need to get a phone because I don't want to give my personal phone number out to have everybody calling me. So we're going to get the number set up to where anyone can call in on the phone lines. International numbers you will be able to call using, you know, if you have WhatsApp, you can call directly in. We'll show the number on the screen as well. Basically how we're going to do it in the future. Let me go ahead and drop the link from my brother Shelton. Basically how we'll do it in the future is, and anybody who wants to join, but this is going to be for Shelton. So basically how we're going to do it in the future is when someone call in, you know, you got to state your name, where you're calling from, and that's it. You know, I'm going to say you caller, you know what I mean? Caller from area code 702. What's your name? Where you calling from? Bam, say your name, say where you're calling from. Go ahead, talk what you want to talk about, and just gonna go from there. You know what I mean? So that's how we're gonna do it. That's how we're gonna rock with it from this point forward. Guys, let me know. Hey, Chef, can you hear me?
Salute, family. Salute, chat. What's going on, Coach? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fine. Can you hear me good?
I got you, man. You're loud and clear, bro.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure.
Yes, sir.
Hey, now listen, guys. I gotta say this. This particular topic right here is from my brother Shelton Moore. Shelton is the one who thought of this topic. I didn't even think of it, but when he said it, I'm like, how in the hell did no one? How the hell did everyone overlook that, including myself? But it was something so simplistic and so simple. You see what I'm saying? Like if Deontay Wilder, according to Malik Scott, I must preface this correctly. Wilder did not say this, as we know, and this is old news. But I want to elaborate on it even more because Shelton make a valid point, and this is Shelton Moore came up with this title for the show. You see what I'm saying? Because I was going to talk about Shakur Stevenson's upcoming fight, but what I'm going to do is we're going to talk about Shakur Stevenson tomorrow. But if Deontay Wilder is, I'm going to give everybody a shout out as well. But if Deontay Wilder is 10 times as skilled, you know, according to what Malik Scott said, I want to make sure I quote him word for word what he said because I was looking on his Instagram page. So let me pull my phone out, guys. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure that I don't misunderstand, misquote any of this stuff, right? I want to make sure that I don't do this. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and do this. Malik Scott. I just had him up today. I just went on his Instagram, and here we go. So I just want to make sure that we have this correctly. So Malik Scott, if you guys don't know, Malik Scott said a couple weeks ago, he said that Muhammad Ali is one of his greatest fighters of all time. He was very magical in the ring. Very magical. Listen to this. Ali was very magical in the ring. This is Malik Scott's words. But it was the things he beat outside of the ring that truly got my attention, aka Malik Scott. Deontay Wilder is the closest thing to that in this time. This was a quote from 7-8 Sports TV. Now, you guys already know what was said, what happened on the show, right? But Malik Scott doubles down, and he said that the media misquoted him, and they was wrong. Apparently, 7-8 Sports was wrong in what he said. Malik Scott said that he never said that Deontay Wilder was the closest thing to Muhammad Ali in this particular time. He said his exact words were Deontay Wilder is 10 times more skilled in the ring than Muhammad Ali ever was. Let's stop right there. So now, The magical part, he was very magical in the ring, right? We're going to throw that out of the way because magical is something that's very phenomenal. That's very impressive. People pulling off magical things that normally that people wouldn't do. You said that the average person couldn't do in the ring. So he's saying that he never said that. He came back and said that Deontay Wilder was 10 times more skilled in the ring than Muhammad Ali ever was. Now, the reason why I say stop right there is this. There's a consensus going around in the sport of boxing. If you talk to any boxer, most boxers, even trainers will say that Ali was the greatest. Now, my favorite fighter is Sugar Ray Robinson, myself, of course, right? But that's not the point. The point is if Ali was the greatest, or let's say he's one of the greatest, him, Sugar Ray Robinson, Joe Louis, and the list goes on and on and on. If he's one of the greatest, and the greatest meaning from 1 to 10, 10 is the pinnacle of the boxing pecking order, the number 10. So you're trying to tell me that Deontay Wilder is 10 times more skilled than Ali. Now, if 10 is a perfect fighter, right? If 10 is the highest you can go, and Malik Scott believes that Wilder is 10 times more skilled than Ali, then as my brother Shelton Moore would say, why in the hell is Malik Scott there? What can he teach Deontay Wilder? How can you teach a man who is 10 times more skilled than arguably one of the greatest fighters of all time? Go ahead, Shelton.
I mean, I think it's a valid question. You know what I'm saying? You said it. So it's not like somebody's misquoting you or putting words in your mouth. That came out of your mouth, Mr. Scott. You said Deontay Wilder is 10 times as skilled as Muhammad Ali ever was. So if he's 10 times better than Muhammad Ali, what the fuck does he need you for? He could probably train himself. Doesn't need a trainer if he's that good. I mean, you can chat, coach. You can tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm tripping. I mean, I'm just asking a question.
Hey, let me mute this. Hey, I'm sorry, I had to mute that, man. Hey, what's so funny is the way Shelton said it. He said, listen, somebody said stop hating. Like, wow, like, who's hating on Malik Scott? Malik Scott.
For what? Okay, Mr. Obey. Mr. Obey, you tell me, what has Deontay Wilder done in his career, inside the ring or outside the ring, that tops what Muhammad Ali did? I'll wait for your answer.
This brother said stop hating. Hold on, what else you said? Wow, stop hating. Okay. Now you're getting vulgar. Well, I tell you what, sir. I tell you what. This is what we're going to do. Since you're getting vulgar and disrespectful, we're going to put you on the timeout right quick. Right? Put you on a quick timeout. I'm putting you on timeout. None of the moderators are. I'm doing it. Oh, wait a minute. I just timed Lisa out. Damn, Lisa. Man, I just timed Lisa out. Man, Lisa, how the hell do I? Lisa, sorry about that, sis. I put Lisa on timeout on accident. Sorry about that, Lisa. Put this guy on timeout. This guy is getting kind of disrespectful now. I don't mind you saying what you say, but when you start saying the PUSSY and all that stuff, that's getting to a little disrespectful.
Coach,
Lisa,
hey, Coach, that's fine because we both know if Emmanuel Obang was in our presence, he wouldn't dare say those things.
Yeah.
It's easy to say all that type of shit from behind a keyboard in your mama's basement. That's fine.
Yeah, Lisa, sis, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to block you. You was right up under the guy, and the chat was moving. So I clicked the dots, and it was moving up. So I'm so sorry, sis. Please forgive me. I did not mean to do that. Please come back, sis. Emmanuel, try to get yourself together, bro. Try not to be so disrespectful. You know what I mean? I mean, you're tripping. You're definitely tripping. But anyways, Sheldon make a valid point. And another thing is this. If he's on that level from a skill set standpoint, then there's nothing that Malik Scott can actually teach him. Because if Ali was the greatest, right? According to a lot of boxing reporters, a lot like this is nothing we're making up. This is what a lot of people who didn't even like Ali, they this is their consensus that Ali was the greatest. Not only just what he did in the ring, but the things he did out of the ring. Then Malik Scott said this, and he doubled down. Then I don't know if you're familiar with this, Shelton. Then he said that Deontay Wilder is 10 times more skilled in the ring than Muhammad Ali ever was. We just addressed that. And Deontay Wilder has beaten 10 times more battles outside of the ring than Muhammad Ali ever did. Then he goes on to say, now right about that ish, we on our bomb squad stuff. Wow. Wow, that's a whole lot to unpack right there. That's a whole lot to unpack right there. So you go on to say
what you telling me, Mr. Scott, let me get this correct. You saying going to an arbitration, which isn't even legal court. It's a court for contracts, a contract court. Winning an arbitration for a fight is tougher than fighting the entire United States government for your freedom. Because remember, Ali lost in the beginning. He had to appeal it. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. So if he had lost that appeal, he was going to prison for 5 years, and he was going to have to pay a $10,000 fine. So you telling me going to court to legally get somebody to fight you is tougher than fighting the entire United States government for your freedom? Malik Scott, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Period.
What does brother say? Yo, have you got any white brothers coming on the screen or what? Listen, there have been white brothers coming on the screen as well. They have avatars when they come on the show. So I don't know what you're trying to get at with the white brothers or whatever the case may be, but whatever your motive is or intentions is of asking that question, the link is right here. If you want to come on the screen, you look like you're white, you can come on the screen and talk. Here go the link right
White
here.
brother?
White brother? Yeah, since you want to talk all that white shit, let's bring your white ass on here. There you go. Let's go. Let's go. There go the link. You have an opportunity to bring your white self on here. Let's go. Yeah, because that sounds like some old slick shit there, to be honest with you. Anyways, but let me give everybody a shout out, man. Hold on. My brother Shelton Moore. I meant to hit the Ali bell for my brother. Hit the Ali bell for my brother Shelton Moore, man. The co-host. So shout out to OD. Shout out to OD on 327. Shout out to Leo Sam. Shout out to my brother Bonatti. Shout out to Wizard Sleeve. Shout out to Kid Stacy. Shout out to Triple X. Shout out to my brother Shelton Moore. Shout out to my brother Halim. Shout out to Elvis. Shout out to Adonio. What's going on, fam? Shout out to Corn Kid. Shout out to the 1U. I guess 5T. That's a funny name. Shout out to Daniel Minta. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to Jay Martinez. Shout out to Bill Taylor. Shout out to Bruce Goals. Bruce Goals, what's up, fam? Shout out to Bruce Goals, man. What's going on with you, brother? Hey, you come on in anytime you want to, fam. Shout out to Aaron Story. Shout out to my brother Wizard Sleeve. Shout out to Iron Kong 26. Shout out to David Woods. I think that's everybody so far. Shout out to Eliza. Eliza, what's going on, fam? Shout out to Kid Stacy. Shout out to Johnny Blaze. Shout out to David Woods. Shout out to Andanio. Shout out to, I think that's everybody so far. And Bill Taylor, James Burrell. Shout out to you, fam.
Where's Martin, coach? Where's Martin?
Martin,
where you at, brother?
Yeah, I don't see Martin. I don't see
You got
Martin.
so much to say in the comment section talking about, do we have any white folks? You could be the first white folks. Come on.
Oh, the guy Martin. Yeah. I just sent him the link, so he don't want to come on. That's fine. He don't want to come on, so it is what it is. Shout out to Paul CX. Shout out to Martin. The link is in the, you white. You come on in. Come on in. Are you just capping? Oh, here come my main man, Kid Stacy. Shout out to Corn Kid. Shout out to Thomas Vasey. And I think that's it. Bill Taylor. Shout out to the Joker. Shout out to my brother Toon. Toon in the building, Shelton. Toon in the building, Paul CX. Johnny Blaze. Shout out to Mr. T. Shout out to my main man, Ryan Thompson. Shout out to Haroon. Haroon, what's going on? Peter Von Arks, what's going on, fam? Shout out to my sister Lisa Bells. I'm so sorry, sis, that I blocked you. Please forgive me. It was an accident. James Burrell, Mr. T, and I think that's it for now. Kid Stacy, what's going on, fam?
What's going on, Coach, man? Salute.
Go ahead.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good.
Kid
Fam.
Stacy, my man, what's happening?
What you saying, Shelton, man? I just had to get a couple things off my chest because I mean, this is a bunch of horse crap. I mean, I blame a lot of it on the journalists as well. I mean, they're putting this guy's name in the same sentence as Ali. I mean, Ali, for start, was a pioneer, right? He changed the game. This is a guy who was a man of principles. This is a guy who introduced showmanship, flash, the talk. This is a guy that was an Olympic gold medalist, not a bronze medalist, an Olympic gold medalist. This is a guy who was a three-time champ. And they're putting this guy in the same sentence as him. This is a guy that when he faced adversity in and out of the ring, when he was first defeated by Frazier, what did he do? Got back on his horse, came back for him. This is a guy that when he went through the adversity of not signing up for Vietnam and was robbed of his prime, what did he do? He beat some of the best killers when he was still out of his prime. And people are putting Wilder, a guy who's ducked undisputed for at least 3 or 4 times, a guy that has no interest in being undisputed, a guy that can't even, he took his ball and went home after he got his ass whooped by Tyson Fury. He sat there, cried about it, made all these excuses that we all know about that I'm not even going to get into because there's too many to mention. And now we're meant to compare him to Ali. Malik Scott is a yes man. He's a guy that took the dive for him. He's a guy that got rid of the only guy, Mark Breland, that had any sort of boxing IQ in that camp, and they got rid of him. And it's ridiculous. I mean, if you look at Ali, some of the social issues that he changed for, I mean, the Vietnam War, the blacks' right, he was an activist for human rights, even well after his career finished. This is a guy that was talking people down from jumping off of buildings, from committing suicide. This is a guy that went into the Iraq War and was trying to resolve situations, and he shouldn't even be mentioned. And I just think it's absolutely disgusting that people are comparing him to him. I mean, I lost respect for Wilder a long time ago. I think the last time I had respect for Wilder was probably when he came over for that AJ fight when he was against Klitschko, because he was very respectful. He wanted to unify. He was excited about the heavyweight division. And then something or somebody blew smoke up his ass, and that's when all the politics started. That's when he didn't want any interest. That's when he started clout chasing, using Anthony Joshua's name for trying to further his thing, talking about I don't need skills, talking about I'm the best in the division, even though this guy's not made not one instance of trying to unify the division. I just think it's absolutely disgusting. Sorry to get my chest, Coach, but I just had to say that because I just think it's ridiculous that people are comparing him to Ali.
No. You also got to remember that what you said, you brought up a valid point. The president at the time sent Muhammad Ali to Iran,
right,
to broker the freedom of the hostages in 1980.
Was that Jimmy Carter?
Yeah,
right
that was
before
Jimmy
he left
Carter.
office. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So Ali and Wilder, to me, this is just my opinion. No one has to agree with me. Ali and Wilder in the same sentence is just blasphemy to me.
I agree.
This sister here, Nicole Funny, says, man, you guys are sad. Wow. This man talking, I guess he was talking about Kid Stacy. This man talking, don't know what the hell is he talking about. White supremacy at its finest. Wow. Okay, here we go. Here we go with this white supremacy. All right, this is my field of expertise. So you say white supremacy. How tell me, what did he say, Nicole? What did he say is pushing white supremacy? What did he say? What did Kid Stacy say as it relates to the statements that were made by Malik Scott? You look very young on this picture, so obviously you're young. You're probably a little kid, and you don't know what the hell you're talking about, right? I get it. You see what I'm saying? You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You see what I'm saying? But go ahead, tell me, where the hell is white supremacy? Do you even know what the hell white supremacy means? First of all, you see what I'm saying? And if you feel like that we're sad, why the hell are you here? Anybody can get
thank
it.
you. And thank you, Halim. It was Iraq. My bad. I said Iran. It was Iraq.
Oh, so if it was Iraq, wait a minute. That wasn't, hold on, Jimmy Carter? Yeah, that was Iraq back then?
No, it was Iran. The Shah of Iran.
No, they had the Iran Contra going on back then.
Yeah. That was the Shah of Iran. I was right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Right. I was right. It was Iran.
That wasn't Iraq. Yeah. No, you was right. You know what I mean? So yeah, you got to explain that. You got to explain that if you want to. You because we you know, we're not going to do, I get it. The white supremacy, the racial undertones. I get all of that. I get where you're coming from. I used to be there. But tell me what the kid Stacy say, since we are sad, what the kid Stacy say that's pushing white supremacy propaganda? You see what I'm saying? Let me know that.
We'll wait for you, Nicole.
But we see you TikTok, so you must be a joke. So you can probably go back to where you came from, sis. You know what I mean? So let's see. He's talking about another man. Let's see. He's talking about another man and trying to downgrade the accomplishments of a black man. No, he's not. He is following a narrative to belittle accomplishments of black men. No, he's not. He's strict. Listen, sis. The topic of the show is if Deontay Wilder has 10 times more skills than Muhammad Ali, what can Malik Scott teach him? This is what he's addressing. So now, when you make a statement like that, a public statement, Malik Scott, we have to look at your statements on the merits on the public platform, since he made a public statement. He's not tearing down a black man to Deontay Wilder. He's stating the obvious. There's no comparison to Deontay Wilder and Ali from a skill set standpoint. We understand he's 42 wins for 4 and 1 loss. We get that. We understand he has the knockouts. But as my brother Shelton Moore says, yeah, who did you fight? And since we're talking about accomplishments, do you know anything about Muhammad Ali? If you don't know anything about Muhammad Ali, then you clearly speaking out of ignorance. If you don't know anything about Muhammad Ali, you see what I'm saying?
That's number one. If you don't know, if you never saw him fight, if you don't know his history, number one, you should be quiet because you don't know what you're talking about. Right. Number two, Nicole, tell me what Deontay Wilder has done inside or outside of the ring that compares to what Muhammad Ali has done inside of the ring. First of all, beating at least 12 or 13 Hall of Famers. There was no dispute when Ali was the champ, who the champ was. There was no dispute. And outside of the ring, he fought the entire United States government. Do you think the FBI has a file on Deontay Wilder? I doubt it. You think the FBI is following Deontay Wilder around wherever he goes? I doubt it. They were doing that to Muhammad Ali. They were tapping Muhammad Ali's phone. The government, the United States government.
Now that's why supremacy.
I'll say again, if you don't know what you're talking about, you should just be quiet, sis.
Right, absolutely. That's white supremacy. If you want to talk about that, and I'm not even bringing that up. When you had the United States government tapping your phone, following you everywhere you go, sending agents, undercover agents and snitches around you, your entourage, and getting up close to you, when you're going through some stuff like that, and they're trying to send you to prison for 5 years because you don't want to fight in a war, that when you're going through stuff like that, that's white supremacy. So if you want to talk about tearing out another black man, Malik Scott is tearing out another black man to Muhammad Ali. But since it doesn't fit your narrative, since more than likely you are a fanboy or the twerkinator, and we're not even talking about Wilder, we're addressing the statements that was made by Malik Scott. You see what I'm saying? Now Wilder never said this, but he didn't straighten it either. He sat there, smiled, sucked it up, was blushing, and all that stuff there. That's what he did, but he didn't say it. So I'm not talking about Wilder. We're talking about Malik Scott. You know what I mean? But hey, if you feel differences, do some research. If I'm hurting your feelings and you don't like what we're saying, bye, Felicia. You can go to another channel. Simple.
We're waiting on you, sis. We're waiting on your reply.
You know what I mean?
Name me somebody on, sorry, coach, but name me somebody on Wilder's record that even closely resembled a Sonny Liston or a George Foreman or a Frazier or even a Ron Lyle or Oscar Benavina or even a Henry Cooper from England. Anyone close resembled any of those killers on his list?
Yeah. Who on Wilder's record beats Henry Cooper? I'll wait.
Not only that, how many Hall of Famers did Deontay Wilder fight?
Right.
Or how many are going to be future Hall of Famers? Like literally, like literally, how many? Like, if you know anything about this channel, I respect all of the OG boxers, the ones who paved the way. Who, like, listen, I'm looking at this fight that Shelton sent me of my brother Shelton of Larry Holmes and Ernie Shavers 2. In the 7th round, Larry Holmes got dropped like a brick. To this day, I don't know how Deontay Wilder. To this day, I don't know how the hell he got up off that mat. Like, if you want to see some real boxing, I respect all of the old school fighters because they paved the way. I would not, in 1,000 years, disrespect any fighter from the old school. I don't do that. That's one thing I would not tolerate. You can disrespect me. I have a problem with that, because I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say to you anyways. But the old school fighters, you're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. To me, that was blasphemy to me. I took that personal. I really took that personal. You know what I mean?
Let's ask this question, Coach, to the cats who believe Wilder is this great fighter, including Wilder, who on his resume beats Chuck Wepner.
He went back on that. They don't even know who that is. They don't know who that is. Hey, shout out to my brother, man, Troy Graham, man. Troy. Listen, guys, let me tell you about who Troy is. Troy Graham is I know you guys heard of Major Key Boxing. So I was on a panel with Troy Graham. He invited me to come over, him and Major Key, and I was blessed, fortunate to sit down on this panel, and we had Tommy Brooks on. Tommy Brooks, famous trainer. He's studied under the best, from Angelo Dundee to Duva to some of the greatest trainers of all time. Hall of Fame trainers. Some of them are not here anymore. He trained under these guys. He trained Holyfield. He trained Mike Tyson. He trained, I was a fanboy of Mike Tyson. He trained Pernell Whitaker, my guy, fanboy Pernell Whitaker. His resume speaks for itself. Junior Jones. Hakeem Rockman.
World champions.
Hakeem Rockman was on this panel. I'm going to repost the video on this channel. Hakeem Rockman was on this channel. You see what I'm saying? This channel here, guys, is this. This is a boxing channel. This is a fan who is, if you are a fan of the sport of boxing, this is your channel. Because we don't allow any fanboyism over here. If you go to my description in the new media, if you go to the channel and look at the About Us section on my channel, the New Media Today USA Boxing, you will see in the About Us section, I specifically says, as a matter of fact, I talk about that we are not a fanboy channel. We do not want any fanboys on this channel. This is what I say. This is what I said on this in my description. Just to separate the wheat from the tare, just to separate the fans from the fanboys. And I intentionally do this. And I'm gonna let you know something, guys. I'm gonna read this to you. It said New Media Today USA Boxing is a boxing channel that covers all of the latest boxing news and fighters from around the world. We do not like, nor do we want fanboys on this channel. This channel is for fans who love the sport of boxing only. If you are a fanboy of a particular fighter, then this is not the channel for you. If you are an extreme follower of a particular fighter, meaning a fanatic, then you are a fanboy. If you are known for a complete lack of objectivity in relation to a fighter or the sport of boxing, who you are in love with, then you are a fanboy. If you usually argue with circular logic that you refuse to acknowledge during debates, then you are a fanboy. We only want fans who love the sport of boxing on this channel. If you are not a fan of the sport of boxing, but you are a fan of a promotional company or anything of that sort, and you love a particular fighter more than you love the sport of boxing, then you are not welcome here. Bye, Felicia. This is in my description in the About Us page. The reason why I put that there, because I want to weed out any fanboys. This is on my channel. Just go to the description, look at the About Us page, and that's what I said word for word. Literally, I do not want any and everybody over here. I only want people who love the sport of boxing. Other than that, shout out to my brother Troy Graham.
This is it, guys. When Ali retired, I thought the fight game was dead. Then Sugar Ray Leonard came. That era, the 80s, early 90s. When Mike Tyson was done.
Go ahead, Sheldon. Go ahead. I got to take this phone call. Go ahead.
Go ahead, brother. I thought the fight game was dead. What I'm trying to say is, when Wilder's gone and Spence and Crawford and Thurman and Pacquiao, all these guys, when they're gone, boxing's still going to be here. We are fans of the sport of boxing, not fans of boxers.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, sir. Respond.
Absolutely.
Kid Station, go ahead, bro.
Yeah. I just, and you know what as well? There's been a lot of shit talkers talking about Ali recently. Mayweather was talking shit on Ali as well, and I think it also stems from the fact that a lot of these fighters are just jealous. They're jealous of the love that Ali's got. Now, we know Ali wasn't always loved at the time of his prime, but universally, after what he's achieved in the game, inside and outside the ring, you know, the love that everyone has adored, the pedestal that Ali's put on, people who are casuals, people who don't even watch the sport, know who Ali is, know the impact that he had beyond boxing. And I think it comes to the fact that a lot of these fighters, guys like Wilder, guys like Mayweather, they just ain't loved. You know, no, I think everyone wants to be loved. You can say you like playing the heel or the bad guy, but I think everyone universally wants to be respected and loved. And I think a lot of these fighters, guys like Wilder, guys like Mayweather, they're not loved. And unfortunately, it's one of those syndromes where they like to tear down another guy. But when you're tearing down someone like Ali, who's done, you know what I mean, who's changed the game, who's done so much for boxing, you know, it's put boxing before himself. You know, this is a guy that was fighting killers when he was beyond his prime, and to me, that's just like, you know, when he came back after having his license stripped, and he was still beating top level fighters when his legs had gone, you know, and he wasn't so elusive anymore, and he was staying more on the ropes, and he was beating these guys, knocking these guys out. And that whole myth that Ali couldn't punch, the dude could punch. Look at his record. Yeah, he's knocked out some of the biggest punchers. He knocked them out, and I'm just disgusted by the fact that all these guys are talking shit on a legend, and it needs to stop. It needs to stop.
I agree, brother. I think you need to build your own legacy and do what you do, and let the greats had their time. They moved on. Now build your legacy in your time and be satisfied with what you've accomplished. Floyd, you've made more money than anyone ever in the history of boxing. Be happy with that. You're 50-0. You beat the guys you were supposed to beat. Whoever they put in front of you, you beat them. Be happy with that. You don't have to tear down another guy. Well, I would never let a guy with 7 losses, with 7 fights, beat me. Well, you don't know that. There are a lot of guys that they say you ducked, Floyd. I don't know what you were doing behind closed doors. All I know is you did what you did. Ali did what he did. The reason you were able to do what you did was because of Muhammad Ali. If it wasn't if there wasn't a Muhammad Ali, there wouldn't have been a Floyd Mayweather. So
absolutely.
Just be happy with that, man, and live your life, bro. Leave Ali's dead and gone. Can we just let him rest?
Exactly. A little bit of decorum and decency, you know, talking shit on a guy who's passed away. I mean, where's that gone?
That's my thing, you know. That's the only thing that irritated me. You know, you're gonna say this guy, I don't even want to speak on it anymore. It's a ridiculous statement. I just can't believe a grown man who supposedly knows the ins and outs of the boxing game would even make a ridiculous statement like that.
Absolutely. And I mean, look, it's the history is documented about Wilder's, what he's been up to. This is a guy that's never won any unifications. This is a guy that was in the same era as both Klitschko brothers and never decided to take them up. He cherry-picked Bermane Stiverne for his world title because he wasn't going to go anywhere near the Klitschko brothers. He was babied, model-coddled, and protected by his manager, Shelley Winkle, the same guy who was the manager for the Klitschkos. But he had been a pro for 7 years at this point. Oh, no, Wilder's a baby. He doesn't want to go near them. He had been a pro for 7 years. Yeah, this is a guy, yeah, that made his name off of knocking out small cruiserweights, right? Small cruiserweights with losing records, yeah? He turned down, I think something like 12 million for the first AJ fight, went up to like 15 mil with like 40% upside on the pay-per-views, still turned it down. And then, as we all know, he still turned down the 100 mil that was offered to him by the DAZN for an undisputed unification match against AJ. Yeah. And then he topped it off by cherry-picking Fury. He got his ass whooped in the first fight, in my opinion. He lost that fight, and he cherry-picked him. He picked him because he was coming off of weight gain, because he was coming off of depression, because he was coming out of that nose candy, and he picked him because he couldn't punch. Well, he found out the hard way in that second fight, and he got his ass whooped. And you know, it's just disgusting. And I wouldn't be surprised, yeah, if say like he knocks out Tyson Fury, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't go anywhere near AJ and instead he fights Andy Ruiz or Charles Martin on pay-per-view for the title. He has no interest. All that horse shit about one name, one face, one champion, a load of bollocks. He doesn't want to go anywhere near an undisputed fight, and it's shown.
And I agree with every point that you made, brother. I mean, it's just the fact that the guy. Well, I'll say this: if you know anything about boxing, in the first fight, Fury fought on the back foot. He was backing up the entire fight. So of course you're not going to feel no power because he's moving backwards. In the second fight, Fury was front foot dominant. He came forward. Of course the punching power is going to be different because now you got a 280-pound guy coming forward, punching you in the face. Wilder, I think he came in the second fight, 230, 231?
Right.
It was a mismatch because of the styles. Fury figured out that Wilder couldn't fight backing up. So he backed him up. And that's the secret to any power puncher. You fighting a power puncher, back him up. It takes his power away. You take away the space, he can't get the right hand off. That's all Fury did. So now for Wilder, if he wants to win this third fight, he has to come forward. He has to use a jab to back Fury up so he can unload the right hand. If he doesn't do that, the result is probably going to be the same. He has to back Fury up. That's the only way he can win, in my opinion.
Yeah. What do you think happens in that fight? Because to me, I mean, this is a guy that it's not even such a physical thing. It's more of a mental thing. I think he's in love with his power too much. And he's a bully that's been shattered. He's been taken out of his atmosphere and he doesn't know how to react. And for me, it's like a question of, do you really want to learn how to change this right now? You know, you're a guy that's coming, how old is he? 35 now. He's a guy that's coming off of so many injuries on that right hand as well. Is he going to start throwing some left hooks? Is he start going to the body? Is he going to start showing some different nuances to his game at this stage right now? Because that's what he's going to have to do. Otherwise, he could get finished even faster in this fight.
That's the thing. Those are the questions. And to answer, hold on, Kid Stacy. I got a guy in the chat I want to respond to. BP Boxing Talk. Okay, that's fine if you know him personally. I don't. I'm going by what he has said out of his own mouth. That's all I know of Wilder. I've never met him, don't know the man. I just know the things he said about the fight. He made excuses. Now, we can go through the list of all-time great champions. The only one that I know of that made excuses was George Foreman. He made excuses after the Ali fight, saying his water was spiked and all that kind of stuff. He came out 20 years later and admitted he just didn't know how to accept the loss.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to make something up in his mind to justify because he couldn't accept it. But he's come to accept it. Now, if you could say that, Wilder, then that's fine. But you went from the gloves to the water to the juju to disloyal trainer to the ref was in on it to the whole Nevada State Athletic Commission was in on it. Is racism all against you? You got to pick one, brother. That's all we saying. We don't mind. If you want to make an excuse, that's fine, but pick one. You can't have 12.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Pick one. And let's not forget about the suit that he was wearing. I mean, yeah, just excuse after excuse after excuse. And at this point, it's just beyond reasonable now. It's like, how is anybody, really swallowing this shit?
One more time. Excuse me. One more time, Kid Stacy. Bill. Yeah, Ali did say something after the Norton fight. They asked him, what happened, champ? You got your jaw broken in the second round and you fought to 12. Did you know your jaw was broken? Ali's direct quote was this: well, I don't make excuses when I lose. I got beat. I'm going to get better and come back. That was his quote.
Right.
Go ahead, Kid Stacy.
Well, he didn't go into hiding, though, Ali, did he? He got back on his horse, did he? He didn't start hiding away and making up excuses and all of this. He got back on his horse. So, I mean, just absolutely more ridiculous. When Ali lost, he was more motivated than ever. This is a guy that was running every day. I don't think Wilder does any road work. Hold on a minute. Why does everyone keep assuming I'm white? Yeah, I'm from Britain, but I'm black. Like, I don't know why everyone's got all these things coming up in the comments there, which is a bit ridiculous, a bit crazy.
Well, here's my question. Here's my question to rebut that, Kid Stacy. What does race have to do with a fight? When has race determined the outcome of a fight? I'll wait.
Never.
Two guys in the ring, the best guy wins. That's usually how it happens, correct?
Correct. That's what it's always should have been about.
We got a super chat from my man Toon. Toon says, Floyd literally became a billionaire off of being hated when you can't get credit for beating 20+ world champions. Take Floyd.
Yo, that BP boxing.
Have a problem with Floyd saying he was better than Ali. That's Floyd's opinion. In my opinion, he wasn't. But that's my opinion. Opinions don't matter. We all have them. That's why we have spaces like New Media Today, USA Boxing, or any other channel you want to name to voice your opinion. That's all it is, brother, is an opinion. That doesn't make it a fact. In my view, nobody did it better than Ali, as far as heavyweights and as far as inside and out of the ring in boxing. Now, I will digress and say this. The best fighter, I think, in the history of boxing was Sugar Ray Leonard. And I don't think anyone, but not Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson was the best fighter ever. And I don't think anyone would dispute that.
No, I won't dispute that. I mean, even that being said, my favorite heavyweight of all time is Joe Louis. Yeah, I like Joe Louis, and from a technical aspect, I think he's better than Ali in that aspect. But I still prefer Ali over him, you know. And I have no problem with someone saying Sugar Ray Robinson's the greatest fighter of all time. No problem at all with that. You know, for me, Floyd doesn't even make my top 20 fighters of all time. He doesn't even make that list. You know, when you're looking at all the other.
That's your opinion, and that's your opinion, exactly.
Yo, that BP boxing, he's talking mad shit. I'd like to see him do all the shit he's talking behind his little keyboard.
Yeah, well, when coach comes back, he'll drop the link and you can come on and express your views, brother. Yeah. But like I'm saying, this is a free platform. We invite difference of opinion. The world would be boring if everyone thought the same. People have different opinions. People have different fighters they like, they dislike. That's fine. The only thing we say over here is don't be disrespectful and don't be condescending. As long as you're not disrespectful and condescending, your view is welcome, brother. Mm-hmm. Coach is not back yet. He's still on the phone. When Coach comes back, we'll ask him to drop the link. What's his name, Kid Stacy?
BP Boxing or some shit. Bring his ass in here.
BP Boxing. You got so many views. You got so much to say, brother. As soon as Coach gets back online, we'll ask him to drop the link, and you can come on and express your views. We're not biased over here. Everybody's opinion is welcome.
I don't think he's going to show up.
Kid Stacy, this question is for you. Who do you have ahead on the all-time great list, Pacquiao or Floyd? Who's ahead? Who's higher?
Oh, man, I got Pacquiao. I got Pacquiao. But that's just an opinion, you know. It ain't mean you got to go crazy and shit. It's just my opinion. I've got Pacquiao, and if he beats Spence, which I don't think he will, but if he does beat Spence, you got to give it to him. You know, that would have been two young fighters that he would have whooped in their prime, two undefeated champions that he would have whooped in their prime. So, I mean, I give it to Pacquiao right now, and I'm not the biggest Mayweather fan. I mean, I'll give him his respect where it's due. There's a lot of fighters I feel that he didn't fight. I'm not a fan of him as his character, but if you're talking about strictly in the ring, yeah, he was a good fighter. He's not my favorite fighter, and he's not in my all-time top greats, but I'll give him his respect. But he's done. He's done, and the reason he's done is because he's not tried to take on any of these hungry lions right now. He didn't want no part of any of these young fighters that were coming up on the way up. You know, and that's why his last fight was against Berto. I mean, this is a guy that didn't even want to fight Kell Brook for undisputed. You know, and he'd rather go out against Berto. So, you know, for me, Floyd's a decent fighter, but I've got Pacquiao ahead. You know, because I don't define a fighter by his losses. You know, I don't define a fighter by his losses, and I think a lot of people have gotten in love with this whole undefeated shit, you know, and so I'm not in love with that whole I'm undefeated, I must be the greatest. To me, there's a lot of mitigating factors to that. I mean, when did you pick those fighters? You know, how did you beat those fighters? You know, who did you beat? You know, it all comes down to these certain things as well. So 50-0 don't mean shit to me.
Well, and you got to understand that if you're constantly fighting the best, you're going to take a loss.
Absolutely.
If you're not cherry picking your way through and picking this guy or picking that guy or fighting the guy who makes, quote unquote, the most financial sense. If you're just fighting everybody who steps up, you're going to probably take a loss. Look at the Hall of Fame. How many fighters besides Mayweather, Calzaghe, and Marciano are undefeated that are in the Hall of Fame?
Boy.
Those are the three I know of. Oh, Andre Ward, number 4. Andre Ward, number 4.
Okay, yeah,
I forgot about Andre Ward.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I don't know any others. Besides those 4, I don't know any others.
No,
all the Hall of Famers have losses.
Yeah. And do any of those fighters that had any losses, does it make him any less of a fighter?
Not in my eyes. I mean, you know, these guys fought the best at their best.
Right.
You fought the best at their best. So there was no question. I was watching last night. I watched Alexis Arguello and Alfredo Escalera. I watched both their fights. Excellent fights. I watched Jeff Finnick and Azuma Nelson. I watched that fight yesterday. Great fight. Great fight. Finnick was robbed. He beat Azuma Nelson. He was robbed.
Right.
I watched now something that might be a little bit before your time. I may be going back too far for y'all. I watched James Scott beat Eddie Gregory. You may know him as Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, the trainer out of Floyd Mayweather's gym. I watched him beat Eddie Gregory when Eddie Gregory was the #1 rated light heavyweight in the world from Rahway State Prison. I watched that fight yesterday. Great fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't just talk boxing because I'm on here with Coach. I love boxing. I participated in the sport from 1973 to 1980. Okay. So I understand what it takes to be a fighter. I never made it to professional level, but I understand the sacrifice and the dedication it takes to be a fighter. I respect all fighters. Any man who laces up the gloves and gets in the ring, I have respect for him. That's why you'll never hear me call fighters bums. I may call them C and D level fighters, but I'll never call a professional fighter a bum because he's willing to do something that I'm not willing to do. So I don't have the right to call him that. I
agree. You'll never hear me call a fighter a coward out of my mouth. You know, I've got too much respect for that. It's a dangerous sport. And, you know, every man that gets in that ring has a set on him. So you won't hear that from me. But I agree. I agree with what you said there.
Coach, you back yet? Nah, he's still So let's move on. Let's move away from that subject until the coach gets back. And let's talk about these fights we got coming up, Kid Stacy. Saturday, we got Shakur Stevenson fighting a South African kid who's got 1 loss. Are we interested in that fight?
I mean, I'm interested in Shakur Stevenson. I think he's got a really high ceiling. I think he go through this guy pretty easily. I think he's got a higher ceiling than Devin Haney. You know, I think Shakur could be the real deal here. You know, I like his mindset. Very good boxer. I think he's really starting to turn it up a notch, and he's starting to grow into his body, start getting his man strength a little bit more as well. And yeah, I think there's a lot of upside to Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, I agree. I'm interested in Shakur. I want to see what he looks like. I'm hoping he can secure either the Valdez fight or the Herring fight. I want to see either one of those fights. I think Shakur's time is coming. Yeah. And I think he's probably going to move out of 30 pretty soon. Like you said, he's growing he's a young kid. He's only 22 years old. By the time he's 25, I see him being at 35 and maybe challenging some of those guys up there. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could see him going up to welterweight eventually one day. Do you know what I mean? I think he's like I said, he's a lot of upside. You said he's 22. Yeah, that's hella young. So You know, I mean, my first introduction to him was the Olympics. You know, seeing this kid just absolutely broke him when he didn't win the gold and that, and you know that just shows you how badly he wanted it. You know, and I saw a promotional video from Top Rank, and it just got you got to know a bit more about Shakur Stevenson, coming from his background, being the oldest of 9 siblings and that, and he's a good kid. You know, I think he's got a good head on his shoulders, and I mean the Valdez fight is a really good fight. It's a dangerous fight, especially after how Valdez is showing. But I think Shakur could beat Valdez. I really do. I'm a big believer in Shakur, and I think he can do it.
Hold on, I got somebody in the chat. The troll killer, Mr. Shelton. You have never heard anyone on this channel say Tyson Fury was anything close to Ali. Now, I don't know what big media said or anybody else said. Tyson Fury reminds me nothing of Ali. He can't even lace Ali's boots. He's nowhere compared to Ali. So I don't know why you came on here with that bullshit, because you've never heard me say anything like that. There's nobody comparable to Ali. Nobody. So miss me with that, man.
Yeah, I second that. I don't know where these guys are coming out with this bullshit. You know, listen, jump on, talk your shit. You know, stop talking your shit. And stop getting these little fantasies in your head. Nobody's comparing anyone to anyone. Certainly not to Ali. This kid stays.
Yeah, troll killer, Mr. Shelton. The link is in the chat, bro. So if you really got something to say, jump on the link, brother, and come on and speak your piece.
This whole chat is full of race baiters in here. I don't know what this is all about. Man, we're talking some boxing out here. What other fights coming on this weekend, Shelton? Is it just the Shakur fight we got coming up?
I think that's the only fight we got this weekend. I'm not too sure, but I know coming up we got.
Hey guys, I'll be back on in a minute, Shelton. I'll be back on in a minute. This is a call. I'm on a call with an attorney.
Yes, sir. Handle your business, coach. We'll be here for you. Handle your business. Yeah, we got I know we got Mel coming up. I think that's the 15th. Is that the 17th? I think is Mel fighting for undisputed on the 17th? Is that this month?
Well, I hope it is. I mean, that's the one against Castano, isn't it?
Yeah. I know we got that fight coming up. I know we got Maul fighting on the 19th of this month. Man. Jamal's fighting. Jamal Charlo is fighting the what's his name? Monte Cristo,
Montiel.
Yeah, some guy, whoever the fuck that guy is. I never heard of him before.
Garbage
but,
fight.
You know, he's fighting somebody. So maybe it's a tune-up. Who knows? But we got that. And on the 26th, now I'm going to be attending this fight live. On the 26th, we got Tank Davis and Mario Barrios.
Okay.
Now, I've been getting killed on this for the last couple months because I've been saying this and saying this and saying this. I got Tank getting stopped. Kid Stacy, what do you say?
Okay. Well, I'm not going to kill you for that because it might be a stretch too far. 140 for Tank. You know, he's a big puncher, but I don't know. You know, I don't think his power is going to stretch to 140. I mean, he couldn't even get out Gamboa till the 12th round, and you know, Barrios looks huge against him as well, and. I'm not, you know. Listen. When Tank first came on the scene for me, when he knocked out Pedraza, I was a real big fan of him. I thought, man, the sky's his limit. You know, I think he's got a lot of potential. Very good boxer, very crisp puncher. You know, a lot of power in that, and I was a big fan. But this whole jumping around weight classes to avoid certain fighters, and he is avoiding certain fighters because there is something to be said about being like a career weight class division, like a Marvin Hagler, someone that stayed at the weight class. There is something to be said at that more. Sometimes there's more value in that than someone hopping around weight classes, because it shows that if you stay in that weight class and you take on all challenges, there's a lot of respect. And I think him ducking different weight classes and going up and saying he's a 2 divisional, he's a 3 divisional, going to be a 4 divisional, all this shit when he's holding secondary titles, I'm not sold on it. Yeah, he hasn't fought anyone who he should be fighting, you know, and that, you know, this whole thing about 4 kings. I mean, let's not go there, you know, but he's not been fighting anyone who's real, you know what I mean? And I think, you know, I don't know if he's going to get stopped. I could see him getting beat. You know, definitely I could see him getting beat. I don't know how big of a puncher Barrios is. But interesting fight because it could be one step too far for him at 140.
And that's my point. You got a guy who's coming up from 30. He bypassed 35. Now I'm thinking, in my opinion, I'm thinking he probably can't make 35. That's the only way I can see why he would pass up all those money fights he had at 35.
Yeah,
that's the only reason I can see. Because I don't think Tank is afraid of anyone. I really don't. I think Tank believes in himself, and I think he's a good fighter. I think he's actually a great young fighter. But you got a 30-pounder. This is how Barrios is thinking in my head. So you gonna bring this 30-pounder up to my division, and you pick me because you think I'm the weakest up here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna beat his motherfucking ass, and I'm gonna send him right back down there to you. This is my division. He doesn't belong up here, and I'm gonna prove it to you guys. If I'm Barrios, that's how I'm thinking. Right.
Yeah. And you know, it's I could definitely see that happening as well. And I know Tank's a fighter, right? And I know it is a lot of the times to do with his handlers as well, because I know he did want that Tevin Farmer fight. I know he did. I heard he pleaded with Al Heyman to get that fight. And I had him knocking out Tevin Farmer brutally in that fight, if that fight ever came off. But the fight never happened, you know. And so I do agree with what you said, that, you know, Tank is a fighter and he does want certain fights, but he's being managed very, very carefully, you know. And I wasn't a fan of the Leo Santa Cruz. It was a nice knockout, but I wasn't really a fan of it, you know, taking little guys up and, you know, showing off your power to smaller guys and that. And for me, that was always going to happen. This is a guy who wasn't a big puncher. This is a guy who didn't have a great defense, and you're fighting now Tank Davis, talking about Leo Santa Cruz. So I knew that knockout was inevitable. It was a showcase fight for him. So I wasn't really sold on that, you know. And there might be something to what you said there about him not being able to manage the fights, his weight in those fights, because there's a lot of big fights for him at 135. So, you know, I'm just a little disappointed with how Tank's being managed right now.
All right, guys, listen, I'm so sorry, man. Everybody on the panel, please forgive me. Everybody in the chat, please forgive me. It was a very, very important call from an attorney. I had to take that call. I could not get off the phone with this guy. So it's very important.
That's fine, Coach. We've been talking boxing. That's fine. But I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
I have a question for you. We had the troll killer, Mr. Shelton, in the chat, and he says that we don't have the same energy when people was comparing Fury to Ali and all that kind of stuff. And I just explained to him that you've never heard me or you ever say anything about Fury being anything closely resembling Ali. You've never heard that from him.
He's generalizing. Yeah. Basically, what we're doing, we are addressing what Malik Scott said as it relates to Ali. And when he says y'all don't have the same energy, you know, I don't know who's the y'all he's referring to. Surely if he's ever been on this channel before, he's never heard us say anything that not necessarily Tyson Fury, but any fighter we compare it to Muhammad Ali. He's never heard that. So I don't know who the y'all he's referring to. He can't be referring to us, but if he is, he's sadly mistaken. I told him that the link is in the chat. If he wants to voice his opinion, he's welcome. Yeah, he's welcome to come in. You know, anybody want to come in, you can come in. I do want to recognize my brother Toon. Let's hit the Ali bell for Toon. Hit the Ali bell for Toon. Ali Bell for Toon.
Oh yeah, I read that super chat. Go ahead, read it, Coach. I read it.
Okay. Floyd literally became a billionaire. Off of being hated. When you can't get credit for beating on 20+ world champions, I take Floyd's stance. You don't get into a professional sport to say someone is better. Yeah, I understand exactly where you're coming from, too. Hold on.
Yeah, so that's my take on that, Kid Stacy. And you know, we got another fight on that card too. That's an interesting fight. We got Erickson Lubin taking on Jason Rosario. How do you see that one?
Oh, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. I've got Rosario winning. I'm not sold on Lubin's chin. You know, he had a fight. It wasn't the one against Charlotte. It was the one after that. He got buzzed in that fight, and I just wasn't.
Against Terrell Gaucher.
That's it. And I wasn't really sold on him. And yeah, I've got Rosario winning that fight, but a very interesting fight. I think the 154 division. I think it's got a lot of good fighters in there. I'd like to see a lot of them mix it up as well. You know, I'd like to see what's his name? Who's the guy that Charlo beat for his belt back? He got his belt back. Forgot his name. Tony.
Tony Harrison.
That's it, Tony Harrison. I'd like to see him mix up with a few of the guys as well, because I think Tony Harrison's a beautiful boxer. You know, I really like how he carries on, and so I'd like to see him mix up with a couple guys as well. Very good division as well. And we got Costa Zou's son all the way in Australia as well. He's trying to get in on the action, but he's
Costa Zou is trying to fight Jamel Charlo, right?
Yeah,
I know he's been calling him out, but
he wants to play.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't seen any of Costa Zou's son's fight, so I'm not going to sit here in front and say I have. I have to really do my research on the guy and see exactly how good he is and can he bang. Have you seen him? Have you seen him fight Kid Stacy?
I've seen his last fight, but again, I think it's levels. I don't think he's ready for Charlo yet. You know, I just think that Charlo's a step ahead right now, and I mean, I'm all for. I've got a lot of time for Mel right now. Not so much for Maul, but for Mel, I've got a lot of time for, because that dude's chasing undisputed, and that's great in my book. I mean, while his brother's fighting Montiel and talking about no one to fight him, and you know, turning down $7 million to fight Andre in undisputed, and making up a pack of lies, just saying, yeah, we've offered Triple G to fight. You haven't offered anyone to fight. You're quite happy to keep your belt and not fight anybody. And so I haven't got time for that. You know, I think the last time I was a real fan of Jamal Charlo was when he knocked out J-Rock. That was when I was a fan of him, and he hasn't really, for me, done anything since. So I'm waiting for him to step up. But for Mel, I've got a lot of time for Mel.
We have a new guest in the building. Shout out to my main man Tony's Reviews. He's I guess he's new. I'm not familiar with his name. Tony, man.
Hello, Tony. What's up, brother?
What's going on, Shelton? I just jumped on because I heard you on. Yeah, I've never been on this panel before or on this live before, but how you doing?
I'm doing good, brother. Go and speak your piece, man. You're a boxing head.
No, I was just gonna say, I only got about 3-4 minutes, so I'm gonna keep it real short. But I want to say this: to touch back on the Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather, then I'll move forward to the Tank Davis Barrios, because that's the last thing I heard. So,
right,
when you compare Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao, you got to understand, Floyd Mayweather Jr. beat Manny Pacquiao. So, if you're gonna say who's greater, it falls into two different topics for me. One is who is the greater fighter. One, who has the greater legacy. I would say the greater fighter by far is Floyd Mayweather Jr. because he beat Pacquiao with ease. He made it look easy. It looked like a sparring match. There was no real competition in that ring, to the point of where you had Pacquiao talking about knee shoulder after the match, right? But the whole time he was throwing the hand and raising the hand like he won, but he clearly didn't. If you go off a legacy, well, by far, Manny Pacquiao has the better legacy, because here he is challenging the top dog at the welterweight division, arguably Earl Spence Jr. And I'd imagine if he beats him, Terrence Crawford will be next. That's greatness. He came up 8 weight classes to Mayweather's 5. Now, he hasn't beat as many world champions or ex-world champions as Mayweather, but he's not far behind. I think he's beat 21 or 22 to Mayweather's 24. So again, and neither one was undisputed. So again, I would say that Mayweather, the better fighter, Pacquiao, the better legacy, just because he beat the best of the best when they were at their best. But again, he lost to Floyd. And then on the flip side, Floyd also beat Canelo, who is currently the best of this era. So you got him beating 2 top dogs in his era when he was old at that. Furthermore, moving on to Tank Davis, and I'll stop talking because I know this must be long-winded.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Talk as much as you want, brother. We don't rock like that over here. Go ahead.
This fight to me is bullshit. It's just another blown up fighter that Tank's gonna beat up. See, people keep talking about Barrios as a 140-pound fighter. He's not. He started at bantamweight. He moved up to get the regular title, which isn't even the real title of the WBA. That's the super title. So he has a baby belt. And here it is, Tank Davis again, just fighting a blown up 122-pound fighter. And I have all ideas he's gonna knock him the fuck out. But that's how I look at it. He's not a real 140-pound fighter. And the real WBA belt belongs to Josh Taylor. So it's just bullshit to me. It's just to trick the casuals into thinking Tank's doing something, thinking he's another division champion when really he's not until he beats Josh Taylor, who has all 4 major belts. I find it a bullshit fight that he's going to win.
All right, now Shelton, what you think about that, fam? Because I know Shelton. I know you picked Barrios by late stoppage over Tank.
Yeah, because I'm still stuck on the fact, Coach, that why did you bypass 35? When you talking about you want legacy and you want to be with Floyd, and be like Floyd, and you want big money, you had big money fights at 35. Why did you bypass 35 to go to 40? Tells me you probably had trouble making weight. That's the only logical explanation I can see. Now, it could be something else. It could be what Tony's reviews is saying. But in my opinion, I think Tank Davis hasn't really been pushed in his career. He's beaten up on a whole lot of little guys. He's going up to 140. We have no idea if his power is going to transfer to 140. Barrios has been at 140, and I think he's going to use his length. He's going to keep Tank outside. He's going to stop him. But the beauty of that is that's why they have to fight. We have to see what's going to happen because we don't know.
Right, that's a valid point. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. I don't know much about Barrios. I don't know much about him. I have seen a couple of his fights, a few of his fights, but I don't know much about the brother. So we're going to see exactly what he got, what he's made of. And when that fight happens, that'll tell me everything that I need to know. I do believe what you're saying, Shelton, that Tank has been having trouble making weight, right? I don't know why. Is it his body? Is it his lack of discipline or whatever? But there were fights that he could have made at 135. Quite a few of them. He skipped that weight division. He's fighting Barrios, right? So we're going to see what's up. Is he going to stay at 140? I have no idea. But one thing I will say, throughout Tank Davis' career, it's been very, very well. His matchmaking, Floyd has been matchmaking him very well because he fights the same style fighters. He fights these small fighters. And I'm not knocking Tank. Tank is a phenomenal fighter. So I don't want anyone who is a diehard Tank Davis fan to jump down my throat and say I'm hating on Tank. Since if you criticize a fighter, it's hating nowadays. Everything is hating. So, but I'm not hating on him. I'm saying he fights the same, slow, flat-footed Mexican fighters. That's all he fights. Slow, flat-footed Mexican fighters, and who are tailor-made to get knocked out by him.
Sound familiar, Coach? Does it sound familiar?
Yeah, well, you have a heavyweight champion that does that as well. So the ex-heavyweight champion from Alabama who does that as well. So I just want to see what he has. Other than that, hey, let's ring the Ali bell. Let's ring the Ali bell for my brother Tony Reviews for coming on the show, and let's ring the Ali bell for my main man Troy Graham. Troy, what's up, brother? Hit the Ali bell. I can't say the Tyson bell because Showbiz got the Tyson bell, but we gonna go to Ali bell one more time for Troy and my brother Tony's Reviews.
Troy, you not cooking today, brother?
I just had my bean soup and cabbage, man. I just finished a bowl and a half of it. Yeah, I'm fasting from meat for like a week. So, yeah, I just had my bean soup and cabbage, brother. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, speak on it, brother. What you think about what we've been talking about so far?
I want to cover a couple of things. I think it was the brother who just came on and said that Floyd is the better fighter and Pacquiao has the better legacy. I got to agree with it. I can't not agree with what the brother said. It makes perfect sense, right? It makes perfect sense what he said. And I know you touched on Tank. Now, you all know I live close, right? You know I live close.
Yeah.
I know where you
go. Baltimore, yeah.
Right. So, I have a love for Tank in this sense. I've seen how he affects the children out here when he comes out to schools and all that. But I agree that he has more talent than they're actually letting him showcase, and they're not letting him sharpen up his skills. They're just trying to make as much money as they can. Then they pretty much going to throw the boy to the wayside, which is not a good thing. Because, listen, I know a coach here who coached him in the amateur, and the boy can box. The boy can box. As far as his height and size, there've been fighters like him. There was a Frankie Warren. There was a Buddy McGirt. There was a Buddy McGirt to the world who had that size. And, they were what? They were champions and Hall of Famers, man.
The white Muhammad Qawi.
Yeah, he wasn't that short, but yeah. But yeah, because Tank is about 5'5", kind of like Manny Pacquiao. Perfect example, Manny Pacquiao. So
right.
I clearly see what's going on because I don't think in that camp they're really building legacy. They're pretty much just saying we're gonna milk the cow until we can't milk it no more. That's what I think is going on over there. Now, as far as Wilder, the simple thing for me to say is Has he defeated any of the top heavyweights of his era? And that's all you have
Yeah.
to say when people bring up Ali, people bring up him beating Tyson. Ask any of them, has he defeated any of the top heavyweights of his era? And the answer would be a resounding no, period, end of discussion. So how do you compare him to the great ones who've done everything he has not done? And he's 35 now, so obviously he's not going to do it. So how do you compare yourself to them when you haven't even come close to what they've done? How?
No, Troy, it's not even comparing. Malik Scott is saying that he's 10 times better. So if my argument was, and I'm not dissing Wilder. So for all of you Wilder fanatics out there who's saying I'm not hating on Wilder. I am specifically addressing Malik Scott. This is a topic that Shelton dropped on me, and I thought about it, and I was upset with myself that I didn't think of it, and no one in this boxing content creation platform that we use on YouTube that I know of, I could be wrong, brought this up. Wait a minute. If he's 10 times better than Ali, and okay, Troy, there's a consensus that Ali is arguably one of the greatest fighters of all time. And let's say greatest meaning from a scale of 1 to 10, Ali was the 10, right? Sugar Ray Robinson, which is my favorite fighter, was a 10 in my opinion. You can look at Joe Louis or whatever the case may be. So if let's say Ali is a 10 with the other greats, if you are 10 times better than Ali inside of the ring, then you are, you from 10 to 100. You know what I mean? And I'm like, bro, like you're laying it on too damn thick. Retro Boxing say he brought it up. So yeah, I stand to be corrected. The Retro Boxing, my brother Blood brought it up. But Shelton brought it up to me, and I'm like, damn, bro, like that is basically what he's saying, Troy. There is no comparison. He's 10 times better inside of the ring than Ali. And how I know he said it, I went directly to his Instagram, and he corrected the record and said, this is what I actually said. And then he said, go ahead and talk about that and print that, yada, yada, yada. So this is, and it's still up there on this thing. So he's not being compared to Ali. He's 10 times better than Ali. By the opinion of Malik Scott.
Well, I tell you what I like to say to that brother, and I say this with all due respect. I would like to invite you to Major Key's platform on Monday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're not good with Monday, we definitely accommodate you. You could bring Wilder. You could bring any and how many other of them LDB boys that you want, just to make yourself feel comfortable. And we'll sit down and have a real debate with real boxing fans. I invite you to do that. And I send that message out to Malik Scott and anybody that might know him. Because at this point, brother, I 100% disagree with you, right? All due respect. And I would love to get you on the panel and have a real debate. No one's going to sugarcoat anything, hold your hand and all of that. We're going to talk like real men, and we're going to just deal with this thing. So, if you up to that, you and Mr. Wilder, you have an open door invitation to Major Key Boxing, 9:30 p.m. every day Monday, or any day you'd like to come. We will accommodate you, brothers. Just that simple. You can and as many of them boys you want. You could bring 78, Fred, Blue Blood. You could bring every last one of them. It don't matter to us. Just come on.
Yeah, yes, sir. And again, this brother here said you should believe you're the best. If not, you don't belong in the ring. I want you guys to really listen. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Wilder should not feel he's the best. I'm not even addressing Wilder. What I am addressing is what his trainer said, that he is 10 times better. He believed that Wilder is 10 times better than Ali. This has nothing to do. Now, Wilder did not say this. So for you to say you should feel like you're the best, if you're not, you don't belong in the ring, that's a total different context. You should believe you are the best, right? But when you have a trainer that says I'm 10 times better than arguably the greatest fighter of all time, and you have not shown that in the ring, you have not fought the Hall of Famers that this guy's fought. You don't have the footwork that this guy has. You don't know how to fight off the back foot. You don't know how to feint. You know what I mean? You don't know how to do half of the stuff or a third of the stuff that this guy know how to do. Now, I will give you this. You are good at knocking out C-class fighters. You are good at knocking. Now, when it comes to knocking out C-class fighters, I give you credit. You are the best that I've ever seen in my life. I say that. But, I respect the old school too much to even say something blasphemous like that. I would never say that. I totally disagree with my brother Malik Scott. And now I know you new guys. I'm 47, so a lot of you new guys, y'all looking at his hate. If you feel like I'm hating, then so be it. This maybe not the channel for you. You probably need to go back to the Alphabet Boy channels. It may not be the channel for you. You see what I'm saying? But I'm just stating how I feel about it. If Malik Scott can make a statement like that on the public platform, and in front of, then I can correct him on the public platform.
Or just ask him the question. I mean, the question, just like when Blood Boxing brought it up, I remembered it and brought it up to you. It's a valid question. Right. If Deontay Wilder is 10 times better than the best heavyweight to ever lace up gloves, then what the fuck can Malik Scott teach him?
Good question. How to take a dive.
There's nothing he can teach him. How can you teach a guy that's 10 times better than arguably the greatest fighter of all time?
Right.
And no one is addressing this. No one is addressing this. The people who are saying, who's defending Wilder, they're not even addressing what Malik Scott said. People who's defending Wilder, they're not addressing the merits of the topic of this conversation that we're having. They're not even addressing that.
Because they don't know shit about boxing. And if they're going to make outlandish statements like that, then I'm going to say Ali would have whooped Wilder. Yeah, I said it. He would have whooped him. He would have beaten him and he would have stopped Wilder. That's what would have happened. You're going to say shit like that, Ali would have whooped that ass. He would have got in his head. He would have wound him up. He would have dragged him to death and then he would have knocked him out late. That's what would have happened.
I'll go even further and say that Floyd Patterson would have knocked him out.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
take that.
So this guy, listen, this guy said that hold on, Southside Box. What you say, fam? He said, hold on. As a matter of fact, we got a new guest. Shout out to Best of the Best. Rate the Ali Bell for Best of the Best is coming to the building. Go ahead, fam. What you want to talk about?
What's going on, New Media? How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, brother.
That's what's up. What's up with everybody? I was just coming in on
we can't hear you, brother. Your phone, you sounded very robotic.
There you go. Go ahead. Go and get right, brother.
Okay, can you hear me a little better there? All right, I was saying Floyd, Floyd the better fighter. When it come to Manny and Floyd, I feel like Floyd is the better fighter. He got the win on paper with Manny, but as far as their careers and their resumes, of course, I think Manny got the better resume and fought the more risky opponents, and he's still doing it right now. So that's how that go far as them two. But as far as the situation with Wilder, I just want them to get this. I really just want them to get to this third fight. New Media. That's all I want them to do. Get to this fight and get Wilder. Let's see what Wilder gonna bring to the table. If he lose again, then we already know what it was. So I'm just pressed about seeing the fight, and that's basically it with that.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I do want to see the fight, you know what I mean? But I absolutely want to see the fight. There's nothing wrong with being confident in your fighter. I understand Malik Scott is playing psychological warfare. He's trying to get inside Deontay Wilder's head. To me, Malik Scott is a glorified yes man. I'm just being honest with you. That's how I feel. He's, for you to, I don't think no trainer on the planet Earth will even say something like that. But I do stand to be corrected. Somehow he was able to, in my opinion, I have no facts on this, weasel his way into getting Mark Breeden out of the way. Now he's the lead trainer, and now he's saying all of these stuff that Wilder is 10 times better inside the ring than Ali, and he's fought 10 times more battles than Ali outside of the ring. This is beyond psychological warfare, trying to get inside of your fighter's head to make him feel confident. This is far beyond that. This is trying to kill a fly with a sledgehammer, in my opinion. This is hyperbole. This is hyperbole to the highest degree. You see what I'm saying? This is telling a rabbit that he can beat King Kong and Godzilla in a fight if they were to step in the ring. You see what I'm saying? This is beyond that. And for Wilder, he sat there and he just smiled and was blushing and all of that stuff there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like he was just eating it up. He was just eating it up. So I get what Malik Scott is doing, but damn, bro, like really, like that was, to me, that was
Ali might be turning in his grave right now. Ali could be turning in his grave off of them words right now. I mean, that's why people
would even can't. I don't think Ali would even be sweating him.
Wow, you know what I mean? So that's
like.
I mean,
I have a question, Coach. When did Wilder turn pro? Was it 08?
08. I think 08, 09, somewhere up in there. 07, yeah, you're right. 08, yeah. Somewhere up in there.
And he won the title, what, 13?
15, wasn't it? I think it was 15.
15, yeah.
He won the title 15. When did Ali die? 17, 18?
Yeah, somewhere up in there. I don't know for sure, but somewhere up in there.
I mean, we know Ali wasn't doing too much talking or putting out too many statements, towards the end. But he was putting out statements about fighters every now and then. Did he ever mention Deontay Wilder?
Nah, I mean, I honestly, I think maybe his health was, you know what I mean? I don't know, but
right.
Ali didn't have the best of health at the time. We all know that. But, RIP to the champ, man.
Yeah,
RIP to the greatest of all time.
For real.
Yeah, man. Salute. But I just, dude, to me, it's blasphemy to me. You know what I mean? Like, again, I take stuff like that personal. When I have the elders, the ones who laid the foundation, when these guys was fighting 15 rounds, these guys was fighting in 8-ounce gloves. These guys, all of the heavyweights had chins back then too.
Sorry, coach. We got another casual in here. Ali got knocked down by a Euro bum. Imagine if that was Wilder. This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. I
guess you have no idea, Parker, whatever your name is, who Henry Cooper was.
I can't, man. I can't, man.
I'm talking about a top 10 heavyweight, a British Commonwealth heavyweight champion,
right?
A good fighter,
right?
Listen, you can tell how long a person been watching boxing, how much they know about boxing based on the comments that they put in the chat. I say this all the time. This is, you know what? I won't even acknowledge you anymore. You're done. I'm not going to block you. I'm not going to do that, but I'm just not even going to acknowledge you anymore. I can tell how old you are and how long you've been watching boxing and pretty much who you are a fanboy of just based on what you put in the comments. And another thing about Malik Scott, Troy, check this out. Malik Scott should know better. You want to know why? He's 41 years old. I can see if Malik Scott was a young kid, in his 20s, and he was training Wilder and he said this, I'd be like, okay, he's just young. He don't know any better. But Malik Scott is 41. He's old enough to know better. That's what I got on Malik Scott about in a premiere video. I say, dude, you old enough to know better. You even say some shit. I was gonna curse. You even say some shit like that.
No, but you gotta understand he has a job, and that check is master. That check is master, hands down. So he's doing his job.
We get that. We get that.
And let's be honest, right? If he took a dive for Wilder, he'll say anything for Wilder as well. Because anybody could anybody could watch that fight. I'm not putting anything against his name or anything like that. You can see with your own two eyes. I got 20/40 vision, and I saw clearly he took a dive.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw that fight about 2 weeks ago. Me and Shelton was talking about it. Wilder threw a two-piece. He hit him on the glove. He had his hands up like this. He hit him on the glove. He hit the rope.
Missed the second shot. Laid down, had his leg like kind of like quote unquote tangled in the ropes, and the referee was counting him. He faked like he was trying to get up and just fell back down. And I'm like, dude, are you serious? Are you serious? Are you kidding me right now? You know what I mean? So this is the guy that you have training you. Now he could turn out to be a Hall of Fame trainer. I doubt it, but just based on what I'm seeing, I understand how he got that job now. I understand how he got that job. In my eyes, I understand how Malik Scott got that job. Because he's stroking Wilder's ego, he's making him feel good. Now, is that going to translate into him winning on the 24th of July? I don't think so, but we'll find out. Is it a possibility that Wilder can win? He can land that one punch? Yes, absolutely. And Wilder stands a good chance of winning this fight if he can land that shot. But my question is, as the fight goes on and the game plan is not working, what is he going to do? You know what I mean? Is he going to revert back to what he's been doing for the 40 plus fights? If I'm a betting man, you're going to go back to what you know how to do. You know what I mean? So other than that, that's it, man. I just, Malik Scott, man, he's 41 years old. He knows better. Troy, you're right. He's getting the check. He's getting paid. His job is to make Wilder feel good 24 hours a day, tell him whatever he needs to hear in order to continue to get that check. Now, is that going to translate to him being victorious on July 24th? We'll find out. But if Wilder loses, what will happen then? So I don't know. We'll find out, guys. We'll definitely find out, man. That's my biggest question. That is my biggest question. Troy, you can answer this. Kid Stacy, you can answer this. What happens if Wilder loses?
Well, all I can say is go watch the Mall, and basically Wilder's Holly Berry, and Malik Scott right now it's Bill, whatever the guy's name is, Billy Bob, that's his name, Billy Bob Horton or whatever.
Billy Bob Thornton, yeah.
Make me feel good. That's basically what's going on. I have no other way to put it. You know, Wilder's real vulnerable, and his brother is making him feel good because he's stroking his ego and what else, I guess. But that's what's going on.
I mean, yeah, you know. I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is as it relates to that. I mean, again, personally, I'm be honest with you guys. From the way I've been seeing the fanboyism been going on with with supporters of Wilder. No disrespect to you guys, but I don't care nothing about fanboys. I really don't. You can look at my description of my channel. I don't like fanboys at all. I really don't. But from the fanboyism that I see going on, and from the I guess the psychological trauma that Wilder has suffered against Fury, had to be psychological trauma because he was quiet the whole time. Now he's speaking, and Malik Scott is saying A, B, C, and D, throwing Ali name in there. I mean, you could have brought up any other fighter, but you brought up Ali. He could have said he's greater than Mike Tyson. He could have said Lennox Lewis, whatever. He went to Ali. You know what I mean? The pinnacle. So, and then not only that, he said he's 10 times better. So, not to keep beating a dead horse, I say all that to say this. I'm Malik Scott. Man, I was going to say I lost respect for him.
Exactly.
I lost respect for you, bro. Like when you said that, I'm like, man, this nigga don't went crazy, like literally. And I literally, bro, like
in the Roger Mayweather voice, he don't know shit about boxing,
bro. Like this is, like you giving him a side eye right now. Everybody's like, what? You know what I mean? So these new age, pro PBC fight fans who are probably in their 20s and 30s, who are fans of promotional companies, not the sport of boxing, that makes sense to them. What Malik Scott said. They're talking about, Malik Scott, this is what he needed the whole time. You know what I mean? I heard my brother Brew Blood saying that this is what he needed the whole time. We won't know if that what he needed until July 24th comes, because hitting that pad work and your trainer telling you, okay, I'm finna move to the left, throw the hook here. Now I'm finna throw the right, duck up under it, come on. Listen, Fury ain't gonna be doing that. Fury not gonna be telling you, okay, wow, I'm gonna throw over here. I want you to move. Now I understand you. I know what you're doing in training. You're trying to, train the muscle memory of the fighter to get him used to what's going on. I get that, but you got to show me what is he going to do in sparring. Sparring to tell me a lot, but then sparring may or may not tell me a lot, because the way they say that Wilder's ego is, you got to make him feel good. So the sparring partner may come in and say, all right, man, listen, hey, you don't hit him too hard. Don't work him too hard. Let him do whatever he wants to do in the ring. You know what I mean? That's the game plan. And the sparring partners are more than likely going to do that because you cut them the check. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. I hope the brother wins. I really do. Because I think if he don't win, they're going to be on suicide watch.
I'm pulling for Wilder. I want him to win.
They're going to be on suicide watch.
I just have to see what happens. Now, Kid Stacy, let me ask you. What happens if Wilder loses?
If Wilder loses, that's it. That is it. That's the end of it for me, because where does he go from there? He's 35 years old, multiple surgeries on that right hand of his, limited fighter. This is a guy that also doesn't want to cross over, doesn't want to fight any guys from the other promotions. So he's just reduced now to fighting perhaps a Charles Martin fight, perhaps Andy Ruiz, or what? Luis Ortiz, the third fight. I mean, please. I mean, he's done. He's done after that, and he's his own worst enemy. He's put all these yes people in his corner. He's not prepared to reset and learn from people that can help him. He needs someone that's not going to be his friend. He needs someone that's going to be a professional teacher and teach him the shots. But he's too ignorant to that stuff. So for me, Wilder's done. That's it.
I won't. I get what you're saying. I won't say he's done. He'll still have a career. But what I will say is this: the only money fights that Wilder has, because he's fought Tyson Fury. I think he made like $20 million to fight Dominique Brazil. Showtime overpaid him. They lost a lot of money on that fight, and I think they ended up dropping him or something after that. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. But the only money fights for him was Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. So if he loses, his career would be done from the big money fight standpoint, because he'll never get the Joshua fight because he's lost to Tyson Fury again. If he loses and it becomes his ego, I doubt if he'll want to fight Andy Ruiz, all of these other PBC heavyweights that are on the PBC. So he can fight a plethora of them. I mean, maybe he can have a trilogy match with Ortiz. He could probably have a trilogy match with Bermain Severn. Bermain Severn's with Don King Promotions. He can fight Dominique Brazil again, but there's not going to be a buzz after fighting at this level. Now you got to come back down if he loses. If he wins, then, we'll see what happens if Shelly Finkel, because Deontay Wilder has handlers. Contrary to popular belief, I talked about this yesterday, Deontay Wilder has handlers. He has to do what his handlers tell him to do. Shelly Bullwinkle, what I call him, Shelly Finkel, and Al Heyman. And so if Al Heyman, if they still on this, we don't like Eddie Hearn, we don't want to deal with Eddie Hearn, then we'll never see, if he wins, we won't see no undisputed fight anyways. So other than that, because I won't say because of Wilder, I'll say because of his handlers.
Coach, oh my God is back. How you doing, sis?
Let me see. What you say? Oh my God. Okay, she's back. Okay, how you doing? Oh my God, how you doing, sis? Salute to Oh my God. Where's she at? I'm trying to find her now. Oh, there she go. There she go. What she say? I'm so ready for July 24th, so everyone can eat crow on Dragon Wilder's name for a year and a half. I'm so excited. Yeah. I hope so, sis. I hope you keep that same excitement. I really do. I want you to be excited.
I'm actually excited too. Oh my God, I'm excited also. I want to see the fight. I want to see if Wilder can improve and get better. I'm pulling for the brother. I just call him out on his garbage, on the bullshit that comes out of his mouth. But I'm pulling for the dude. I want the dude to win.
I mean, yeah, I'm not, again, I'm addressing Malik Scott. I'm addressing Malik Scott in the comments he said, but if Wilder can pull it out, so be it. We'll see. We'll find out. July 24th can get here. I just don't want nobody on suicide watch if it don't turn out the way you think it's going to turn out. Because from what I've seen since Wilder lost to Fury, I've seen a whole nother side of fanboyism, right? I've seen a whole nother side. I really don't care too much for it myself. So if Wilder loses again, which I hope he don't, but if he loses again, then what? So just like you waiting on other people to eat crow, you might be eating that crow as well. So understand that, because it's boxing. Anything can happen. We don't know what's going to happen. Wilder can win or Wilder can lose. And just like you hope that everybody who was dragging Wilder's name through the mud eat crow, those same people are going to hope that you eat crow if Wilder loses. So it goes both ways. Just expect that. Troy, anything else you want to chop up, my brother?
No, sir. No, sir. I pretty much got to jump, man. I have some work to do, so I got to jump off. It was a pleasure, man. It was a pleasure. I'll see you later, brother. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Shout out to my brother Troy Brown, man. Major Key Boxing, Major Key Mondays, 9:30. Every 9:30, man. Please go to Major Key Boxing channel and please subscribe.
Oh, I also want to say this before, Coach is being very humble, man. He's definitely one of the cornerstones in what we're trying to build over there. So I always want to shout him out and give him his respect, right? We forming, because we're building a great foundation, body down, to build ourselves up. Because when you put a bunch of men together that are real good, you're always going to have greatness. And that's what we got going on over at Major Key. So God bless and respect.
Yes, sir, man. Salute, man. Salute to my brother Troy Brown, man. Respect to you, brother. God bless you as well. You know what I mean? Shout out. This is the Ali Bell from my brother Shelton Moore, Kid Stacy, and my main man, my brother Troy. I keep saying Tony. Troy. Shout out to my brother and Major Key Boxing as well. Please tune in to Major Key Boxing 9:30 every Monday. What is it, Shelton? Major Key Mondays? 9
Major Key Mondays is 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific.
All right, yeah, and if you're in the UK, that'll be 2:30 a.m. 2:30 a.m.
Yes.
It's a 5-hour time difference.
Always great guests. They had Kelly Pavlik on. They've had Glenn Johnson on. Last week we had Tommy Brooks and Junior Jones and Chop Corley. I mean, it's great guests every week.
G Funky, what's going on, fam? Salute to you, fam. You know what I mean? So salute to you. Let's see who else we got. TGE, what do you say? I just want to see the fight and hope it's another exciting one. No controversy involved. Again, we don't want no controversy. I want the FBI to be there. I want the CIA to be there. I want the Department of Homeland Security. I want all of the armed forces. You know, I want whatever. Listen, again, as I said before, we're gonna shoot. We're gonna do a live. We're gonna do a live, and this live is gonna be for all Deontay Wilder fans. I'm gonna look directly at this camera. If you are a fan of Deontay Wilder, if you are or if you are a fanboy of Deontay Wilder, I want you to write down a list of demands that you want Tyson Fury to do or that you want to happen before this fight starts July 24th. Now, I'm gonna give you my list of demands. I don't want nobody to throw the towel in. That's one. I don't want Deontay Wilder to wear a costume or a mask. That's two. I don't want Deontay Wilder to drink any water because we don't want to risk anyone spiking his water, allegedly. That's three. I want Deontay Wilder to pick either Farrakhan, Al Sharpton, and Jesse Jackson to be the judges, right? You don't get no more pro-black race hustling than that. So we want them to be the judges. I want Deontay Wilder to pick Marcellus Wilder, his brother, to be the referee, right? Yeah, that's what I want. I want him to have everything that he needs in order to win this fight. And also, I want you guys who support Deontay Wilder, give me a list of all of the things that you want Tyson Fury to do before the fight starts. Because don't forget, Coach. We're gonna go back old school. We want the gloves put on in the ring. Right. No gloves in the locker room. We want the gloves put on in the ring. We want the hands to be wrapped in the ring so everyone can see it. FBI, CIA, Department of Homeland Security, all of that. We want all of that. National Guard, all of the armed forces. We want everything in that ring. Because I don't want no damn excuses. I don't want no excuses. And Wilder cannot wear a costume. Wilder can't wear no costume. I don't want no excuses. I promise you, I do not want no excuses. Because I'm gonna keep that same energy that I've been keeping. Because I've been Wilder's toughest critic this whole time. And I'm not backing up on that. You can call me a hater, call me what you want to call me. I do not care. I will not lose any sleep on the names you call me. All I'm saying is this here.
I definitely don't. I don't lose no sleep. I don't care what y'all think. I have my opinion, and that's what it is.
All I'm saying is this here. Give me a list of your demands. Because I've heard listen, we want Wilder to take a COVID test before he steps in the ring because we heard he had COVID. Shout out to my brother Fred. Fred Barbershop Conversation. Shout out to Fred. Listen, we heard he had COVID. Listen, everything, anything, give me 100 demands what you want, right? Reach out to Tyson Fury. We're going, hey, this is what we want done. I don't want no damn excuses this time. I don't. Shout out to Sly Tennessee's, man. For the super chat, Sly Tennessee said, shout out to Coach Shelton, Lisa, Charlo, everyone, fanboys, close their fridge with their hip. Everyone got it playing till they wear a 40-pound suit. Yeah, man, absolutely. I don't want no excuses, man. Just give us a list of your demands, what you want, and we'll try to make that happen. We'll do our best to make that happen. I'm going to reach out to anybody I can reach out to. Shelton's going to reach out to anybody he can reach out to try to make this happen. Give us a list of your demands. Give us a list of your demands, please. Just tell us that. Tell us that. That's all I want. Yes, you know
sir.
What I mean?
We gonna get it done. No excuses. Now, if he wins, credit to Wilder. Everything he said was true, and we get it. He's the guy. Move on to fight Joshua. Let's get this undisputed thing done. But if he loses, no excuses. We don't want to hear about the suspect judge, the crab in the bucket. We don't want to hear none of that.
With all due respect, Coach, I think if he beats Fury, I think they're fighting Ruiz on pay-per-view next. To be honest, I don't think they're going anywhere near AJ.
Ruiz?
You said Ruiz 3?
Yeah.
No, not Ortiz. He said Ruiz, Andrew Ruiz.
Yeah, Ruiz.
Oh, Ruiz.
Yeah, Ruiz on pay-per-view.
Oh, so he don't just steer clear of AJ, is what you said.
Oh, yeah.
He don't want no parts of that.
They've had no intention, and I think that because of the responsibility that comes with being like having 3 belts, having 2 belts. There's too many mandatories.
That's a good point. I never thought about that, Kid Stacy. If you're the unified undisputed champion, that means you got 4 mandatories you got to pick from.
Yep.
Right. You know what I mean? So, and then again, like I say, I don't think Shelly Finkel and Al Heyman want to make that fight anyways. They don't want to make that fight. They won't make that same mistake in allowing Wilder to fight a fighter outside of the PBC because they ended up losing the belt. So they won't make that mistake again in trying to fight Joshua.
Excuse me, Coach. Wole, condolences to you and your family, brother, on the loss of your father. Condolences, brother.
Condolences to you, fam. Because condolences to you, Wole. I didn't see it, but condolences to you, fam. You know, man. We're gonna hit the Ali bell. We're gonna hit the Ali bell for your from your father. Hit the Ali bell for your father, man. I really do. I'm sorry to hear about that.
Condolences.
You know, so this is the thing. And we want we tried the white referee in the first, Jack Reese. Wilder fans didn't like that. Wilder complained about that. We had a black referee in the second fight on Black History Month. Wilder didn't like that. He said he was a crab in the bucket referee. So pick what nationality, ethnicity, or race of individual that you want to be the referee. You tried the white referee, that didn't work. You tried the black referee, that didn't work. Do you want a Puerto Rican referee? Do you want an Asian referee? You know, do you what do you want? Which do you want a referee from the moon? The Mars?
Coach, you gotta see this one. This is the best one I've seen yet. I'm gonna read it to you. Hold on. As a Wilder fan from TGE Boxing, as a Wilder fan, we demand Fury get new gloves every round and a new hand wrappings as well. It might end up being a long ass fight though.
Wow. Hey, what that said, man? No more excuses this time. Hey, that's a good one there. That's a good one there, boy. I'm trying to find that one. We need to post that. Hold on. Oh, okay. Here we go. I see it. Yeah. As a Wilder fan, we demand that Fury get new gloves every round and new hand wrappings as well. It might end up being a long ass fight though. Oh yeah, you know what, bro? Listen, that's all I'm saying, man. Like, you know, I just what are your demands? Just give us a list of demands. Tell us what you want. We're gonna try to make that happen. I'm gonna talk to Lisa. I'm gonna talk to Shelton. You know, we're gonna talk to Kid Stacy. I'm gonna call Troy. I'm gonna call Punch Drunk Boxing. Please shout out there, my brother Punch. Subscribe. I'm gonna call Major Key. We're gonna call everybody. We're gonna do a full court press. Lady Shannon in the UK, we're gonna do a full court press and we're gonna submit the demands that Tyson Fury is gonna have to abide by before this fight happens. New gloves, new hand wraps every round. We're gonna go with an Asian referee. We're gonna try that. The black one didn't work, the white one didn't work. So because Wilder fans was not happy with either one of those referees. So that's I don't know why you weren't happy with the black referee, even though the black referee did take a point from Tyson Fury, but that's neither here nor there. But y'all weren't happy with that, right? So, we're going to pick which nationality you want to be the referee. All of that. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, and don't forget, since Fury said he could beat Wilder with one hand tied behind his back, we're going to tie one hand behind his back.
Yeah. One hand behind his back. Coach, what about the water? Yeah. No water bottle. I don't want Wilder drinking any water. Wilder cannot drink any water. You see what I'm saying?
None.
Because we don't want to take no chances of Tyson Fury paying off someone to spike his water to make him feel druggy. But he can't wear any costumes or mask on his face. You see what I'm saying? That's it. That's it. You know what I mean? Any more demands from Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder supporters, any more demands that you want, please list them in the chat so we can try to make that happen. We have to. You see what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. Because I don't want this is going to be Wilder said this is revenge. This is the revenge fight or the redemption fight. I say this is the no excuses fight. The trilogy match is no excuses. There will be no excuses this day. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm gonna see can I get in contact with somebody in the White House, in Washington, talk to the CIA, get in contact.
It's for the WBC, right, Coach?
What is it? WBC.
It's for the WBC championship, correct?
Right.
Oh, we just call Jose. We'll call Mauricio. We'll get Mauricio to submit all the demands to Mauricio. He'll make it happen.
Right. You know what I mean? So, so that's it. That's it. What nationality, or ethnicity of that you want to referee the fight? Tell us that. We tried the black one. Now we had a black referee on Black History Month, and he took a point from the white guy in the ring, and that still wasn't good enough. So I just want to make you guys happy. All you Wilder fans and supporters, I want to do everything in my power to make you guys happy. Yeah. Just tell us.
Yeah, we're gonna stop hating on the king. What's his name? Lion. What's his name? Let me see.
Yeah. Lifetime. Eon.
Lifetime Eon. Yeah, we gonna stop hating on your king.
Yeah,
we
Lifetime
good.
Eon.
Yeah,
No,
we
we're
good
not.
hating on your king, brother.
Now listen, Lifetime Eon. I asked the question: what are the list of demands that you want? See, this is what you guys do. This is what Wilder fans do. I ask questions, right? I'm asking what are the list of demands that you want, and you guys don't address the merits of what I'm asking. So we're not hating. I'm saying, what do you want? What are the list of demands that you want? We had a black referee, Black History Month, and he took a point from the white guy. Since we're going with the race hustling, the race baiting. So since we're gonna run with that, I'm gonna run with that with you, just for argument's sake. We tried that, right? The black trainer, quote unquote, spiked this water. We have no proof of that, but that's what he said, right? He got rid of the black trainer, and now he replaced him with another black trainer. So we're gonna see how that work out. So we don't want him to wear any more costumes, none of that. So what are the list of demands that you want? What is it that you want? Vita testing. They did vita testing. I hope you know this. Nautical Blings. They did vita testing. They did vita testing before the fight and after the fight. So when Wilder says that he had this water bottle was spiked, he had something in his water. When they tested this, when they did the vita testing after the fight, they found nothing in his system. So do you want so what else do you want? What else do you want? You know what I mean? They had vita testing. What else do you want? You know, you got to give me something more than that. Because Wilder said it was 13 reasons why he lost the fight. So you need to address the 13 reasons on the merits and tell us exactly what you want in order to. Do you want Tyson Fury to have his hands tied behind his back? Do you want that? Tell us what you want. Just tell us what you want, and we'll see can we make that happen. I'll put together a petition right now to list of demands to see exactly what, see can we make that happen.
Hey, Coach, what's your thoughts on the undercard between Helenius and Kalnacki, and also the other fight, which was
that's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a damn good fight.
F.A. Jagba versus Frank Sanchez. It was like a heavyweight all card for the pay-per-view.
I don't know what pay-per-view for who? For who? For Wilder?
The Wilder one. That's their undercards. It's all heavyweights.
Okay, that's on the Wilder's undercard.
Yeah. F.A.
Oh wow! I see. You just educated me. I didn't even know. I didn't know who was on the undercard.
It's a better undercard than the second fight and the first fight. I'll give them that. Helenius and Konacki's an interesting fight, seeing as he got knocked the fuck out last time by Helenius. No one saw that coming. And you know what? I've got no. Sorry, go on, Coach.
No. Go ahead, brother. I was going to say I didn't know Ajaba. I was going to say Ajaba. He looked pretty good his last fight. I think the guy who he fought last time was tailor made for him. But he looked pretty good his last fight. But I know Ajaba. That was an early knockout with the guy he fought last time. I forgot the guy's name, to be honest with you, my brother. But as Ajaba goes on later in the rounds, it seems like he gasses out a little. He gets kind of tired, and he starts to lose his form and technique and defensive skills as the fight goes on. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm rooting for Ajaba. I want to see him win. I really do. The undercard is good. Like, the undercard does sound good from what you're telling me. So, I mean, that's even better.
Yeah,
that's even better. I think honestly, if I'm gonna be honest with you, Kid Stacy, I think that Ajaba might be a little too strong for Sanchez. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Sanchez didn't look that great in his last fight, and I think F.A. Jagba. I think like you said, that opponent was tailor made for him, but I think you can learn from that. I think there's something to be said about having someone that's not great and just you trying out new things as well in that fight. And it was a great knockout as well, great one punch knockout as well. It carries a lot of power. I think Ajaba will beat him. I'm quite interested though in the Helenius and Kalnacki fight, just because Kalnacki had the chance to fight AJ, turned that down probably because he was cycling off or something, and he got knocked the fuck out for a fraction of that money for no belts. So it's do or die now for Kalnacki. He's really got to show it up because no one was expecting him to lose that fight. It's taken long enough, over a year, to get that fight made. So. Just interested in both of those two fights as well. And I think keeping it an all heavyweight affair really will help sell the pay-per-view a little bit more as well.
My sister, oh my God, said, I can't believe y'all have so much faith in the champion by default that has never proved he's a real champion by defending the belts. Sister, I don't think you address, I don't think, oh my God, I don't think you're addressing what we're asking. We're asking what are the list of demands that you want for this fight so that you can feel content that this is a fair fight. That you haven't gotten cheated, that the costume is not too heavy, that the water bottle wasn't spiked, that the referee, which was a black referee on Black History Month, who took a point from the white guy, is not a crab in the bucket referee, that he doesn't have COVID, that what just give us the list of your demands. We haven't said anything about having faith in Tyson Fury at all. We're saying that by you being a Deontay Wilder supporter, we want all of you Deontay Wilder supporters, fans and fanboys alike, to give us a list of demands that you want for this fight, so that you can be clear, you can be certain, you can be sure that you are sure, and that you can know that you know for an actual fact that there was no funny business going on. What is it that you want? What kind of law enforcement that you want? Do you want the FBI, the CIA, the Department of Homeland Security? Do you want the gloves put on in the ring? Do you want Tyson Fury's hands wrapped in the ring? Would you like for Tyson Fury to fight behind his hand? Would you like a Puerto Rican referee this time, since the black referee wasn't good enough for you, or since the white referee wasn't good enough for you in the first fight? What type of referee do you want in there? Who do you want to be the judges? Do you want Farrakhan, Al Sharpton, and Jesse Jackson to be the judges? Who do you want to be the referee? Would you like for Al Heyman to be the referee? Would you like for Shelly Finkel to be the referee? Would you like for Marcellus Wilder to be the referee? Whatever demands you want, sister, just let us know. We're not even talking about Tyson Fury. We're talking about what are the demands that you Deontay Wilder fans and fanboys want for this fight in order to make you guys happy. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. That's it. That's all I'm asking. You know what I mean? So, so other than that, sis, that's all I'm asking. So, in the chat, what do you guys? None of the Tyson Fury, none of the Wilder fans are giving us the list of demands that they want. They don't, you know what I mean? I don't know if they even know what they want, right? We know they want Wilder to win, but I want the list of demands that you want to ensure that you can have victory this time. Because apparently you lost because Fury cheated, but you also lost because the referee was helping Fury, even though he took a point for Fury. You also lost because Wilder costume wore his legs out. You also lost that Wilder water bottle spike. You also lost that because Wilder allegedly he might have had COVID. This is what Fred didn't say it was true, but he was just saying that's what he thought. He said like it was sick. So what is it that you want? The gloves? Okay, we'll address the gloves. What type of gloves do you want? Do you want Fury to wear 25-ounce gloves? Do you want him to wear 30-ounce gloves? Do you want him to wear 45-ounce gloves? Right? Do you want Fury to have one arm tied behind his back? Tell us what you want. What demand that you want? You see what I'm saying? Oh my God said no demands. Just stay tuned. Okay, all right, sis. All right, you say no demands now. So if it don't go your way on the 24th, we can't come back and say, hey man, this was the reason why. What I want, we don't want a black referee anymore who took a point from the white guy in the ring, took a point from Fury. We don't want that anymore. We don't want the white guy because the white guy in the first fight, it took him 25 seconds to count, and he helped pull Fury off the ground, off the mat. So we don't want that. So let's try a Puerto Rican fighter this time. Let's try a Puerto Rican referee. I think we should go with a Puerto Rican referee. A Latino. We should go with a Latino referee, or we should go with an Asian referee, right? This is what I want. We're gonna call Farrakhan, we're gonna call Al Sharpton, we're gonna call Jesse Jackson. They are going to be the new coaches, not coaches. They're gonna be the new judges. They're gonna be the judges. We're gonna have a Black Lives Matter activist as a referee in the ring, right? So if Wilder was to get knocked down, it's not going to be counted as a knockdown, right? We're going to do that. We're going to make sure that we have the CIA and the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security also walk Fury in the ring. They're going to have to be black from the Nation of Islam. They're going to have to be black. We're going to walk him in the ring. We're going to wrap his hands, make sure that the hands, there's nothing in the hand wrappings, and we're going to check the gloves 25 times in the ring and put it on camera so everybody can see, all of the Wilder fans can see, to make sure there are no egg wakes in the gloves, right? We're going to do that to make sure. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I want. I want to give you guys every reason to make sure that you guys can win. That's all I'm saying. So this guy here says, I believe you need to watch your mouth disrespecting people who respect Deontay Wilder. that will make you an F. Brother, listen, you ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing. I'm not gonna watch my mouth. You can say what you want to say. Obviously, you have. See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is the fanboy. This is the fake Hebrew Israelite, right? You's a sucker for coming on here. You ain't gonna do nothing. You see what I'm saying? I hear this all. See, now this guy's black. This is where the pro-black stuff come in at. This guy has a black avatar, and he's coming on here, obviously a troll and a clown. He has nothing better to do. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm talking about. This fake ass Hebrew Israelite. You's a fake. I'm not gonna watch my mouth. What you gonna do? Nothing. You're probably in your mama's basement right now.
Right.
Typing real hard. You ain't gonna do nothing. As a matter of fact, bye Felicia. We holler at you. Bill, hey, come on with another account. You block. See, this is what I go through. You see what I'm saying? It be the pro-black Wakandaites threatening me, saying they're gonna do this and that. You guys have no idea. And they wonder why I go so hard. They wonder why I go so hard. You see what I'm saying? So they can come on. We pro-black, we gotta stick together, but they'll come on this channel and YouTube filter out a lot of stuff, and they threaten me. Say they're gonna, when they see me, they're gonna pull up. They call me F niggas and all this stuff there. This is what I tell you guys who are not from the United States. If you're not from the US, do not get caught up in the racial politics of Black America. It will just confuse you. It will confuse you. It will confuse you. You see what I'm saying? She said, put your money where your mouth is, coach. What do you mean put my money where my mouth is? I'm hoping Wilder wins. But I do bet. Trust me, I do bet. I hope he win because I don't want the Wilder fans and fanboys to be on suicide watch. Trust me. I want to see him win. But will I bet on him? Hell no. You know why I ain't gonna bet on him? Because of fools like that fake Hebrew Israelite. The fake Hebrew Israelite come on here threatening and all this stuff there about Wilder. Nah, I ain't betting a dime on him. You see what I'm saying? Period.
The thing is, coach, it's very selective what they do. I mean, they'll shit on any fighter that goes up against them. So, for example, I remember these guys were riding with certain black fighters, and as soon as someone says something against Wilder, oh, he's a coon. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. Oh, this. It's very selective what they're doing. They're not pro-black. Do you know what I mean? Because they'd want every single black fighter to do well. It's very selective in what they're doing. You know, they shit on any fighter from whenever they want. I don't take them seriously at all. If they got a problem, they can jump online. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, what's the point in coming on your channel to talk shit? That's like me going to see someone at a concert and then spending my time and my money to go and see someone at a concert and then shitting all over them, booing them, or throwing stuff. Why would I do that? Why would I waste my time doing it? If you're not interested, fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, it's crazy. But I tell you what, shout out to Mercy Grace. Wilder will have no excuses this time. If he loses, he's screwed. He used a career worth of excuses on one match. So this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. Oh my God, I got you. This is what I'm going to do. I won't bet $1,000. I won't bet $1,000. I'm gonna look at the odds. See what the odds are. I'm betting on Tyson Fury to stop Deontay Wilder in the 11th round, 10th or 11th round. And guess why I'm doing it? Because of the fanboys, because of the threats. Call me what you want to call me. Call me a coon, call me a sellout, call me an Uncle Tom. I do not give a damn. I'm betting on Tyson Fury. You see what I'm saying? To stop Deontay Wilder in the 11th round, 10th or 11th round. That's what I'm betting on. I will not support this fool because of all the little threats. Like I don't get no threats from no other fans but the black Deontay Wilder fanboys. Them the only ones I get threats from. And it's really pissing me off, to be honest with you. But I'm gonna keep my composure. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look at the odds. I'm not gonna bet anyone on the internet because if I win, I'm not gonna get paid. I know this. So bet $1,000. You see what I'm saying? So are you gonna bet $1,000? Oh my God, that's the question. Are you gonna bet $1,000? Are you gonna bet $1,000? Let me do this right quick. You know, I'm not with the cap, so let me do this right quick. You said bet $1,000. Let's do this. Finna show you something. I'm finna show you something. You see this right here? This is my checking. This is my savings account. 14,300. I got the 1,000 to bet. Show me what you got in your account. I bet you. I bet any Deontay Wilder fan right now. Show me what you got in your account. That's a bet. See, I ain't with the cap. I got receipts. This is my phone. I got receipts. Whatever you want to do, I got that. And I mean that. You see what I'm saying? We're not betting on air. Air is when you just bet just to say you bet. I got it to bet. You see what I'm saying? So let's run it. All this threatening me, coming on this show, threatening me. I'm not with all that, bro. I'm not with all that. This why I can't stand you Deontay Wilder fanboys. I can't stand y'all. Y'all get on my goddamn nerves coming over here threatening me. You are black. You supposed to be black like me, but yeah, you want to come with the black on black violence. Calling me fuck nigga and all this stuff there. It is what it is, man. I don't give a damn about no Deontay Wilder fanboys. I don't give a damn about the Alphabet Boy supporters. I don't. I stand on that. I live on that. I'm going to fight on that and I'm going to die on that. I care nothing about you. I really don't. If you're a fan of Deontay Wilder, I don't have a problem with you. But when you come on this show and start saying all kind of crazy stuff, I have an issue with that. Because I don't threaten nobody. Because the real dudes that I know, they don't do no talking on the internet. They don't do that. But I'm going to move on. I digress. I said what I had to say. Put up or shut up. I ain't doing no more talking as it relate to that. I got 14 grand in the bank. And I got the money to bet. Oh my God. Where your 1,000 at? Let's go. Where your 1,000 at? Where it's at? Where your 1,000 at? Forget the odds. We just gonna bet straight up. If you got faith in the twerkinator like that, we're gonna bet straight up. Dollar for dollar. Put up or shut up. Now I showed you what I got. This is my phone. This ain't nobody else's account. This is my phone. This is my Bank of America account. Put up or shut up. I'm through talking. I got Tyson Fury. Today is UK time. It's 10 o'clock, 10:02 at night, UK time. Right here in Miami, Florida, it's 5:02 p.m. 5:02 p.m. June 9th, June 10th, on an afternoon, June 10th, Thursday afternoon. Coach Malachi Williams got $1,000 that I'm willing to bet. My sister, oh my God, since you say bet $1,000, I wanted to bet, oh my God, $1,000. I just showed you in my account. If you can't show me a screenshot of the money that you got, sis, please keep your mouth closed. Because I don't bet on air. And I ain't doing no capping. I like Tyson Fury. 11th round, stoppage over the Twerkinator. And I got the money to bet it. If you ain't got the money, sis, since you calling me out, if you ain't got the money, sis, don't here you got the money, don't even say nothing. Because you ain't got faith in the Twerkinator like that. And I mean that. And for the Hebrew guy who came over here, I care nothing about you, sir. You said you'll bet me $1,000. Well, I showed you what I got. Here go my cash out. My cash out right here. Hashtag New Media Today USA. New Media Today USA. That's my cash out. That's my cash out. July 24th. The fight. That's my cash out. I bet you $1,000. And if you want to bet $1,500, we can do that too. Make it light on yourself. And I'm dead ass serious. I'm dead serious. Graveyard serious. Right now. Whatever you want to do. You said you would bet me $1,000. Show me you would bet me. Okay, well, let's go. Let's go. My cash app is $ New Media Today USA. That's my cash app. Coach Malachi Williams have $1,000 on Tyson Fury. Period. That's what I got. And I'm showing you what I have in my account. You're going to have to show me what you have in your account because I don't believe you when you say you will bet $1,000. We don't bet on air. You got to show proof of funds. You have to show proof of funds. Just like when Tyson Fury was trying to fight Anthony Joshua, he said we need to see proof of funds. Just like when Wilder was trying to fight Anthony Joshua a few years ago, he said we need to show proof of funds. I need proof of funds because I don't trust you Deontay Wilder fans and I don't trust you Deontay Wilder fanboys. I need proof of funds. I just showed you proof of funds right here. I just showed you proof of funds right here. I just showed you proof of funds right here. You can't see my whole account number. I just showed you proof of funds right here on my phone. $14,300. What you got? Period. Other than that, that's it, man. I think that's a good way to wrap the show up because she ain't gonna do nothing. I know she ain't gonna do nothing. Y'all ain't showing no proof of funds, so we're gonna be on tomorrow at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock tomorrow. We're gonna cover my main man. Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson. We have Shakur Stevenson got a fight coming up. Listen, sis, I don't care what you have in your purse right now. I need to see proof of funds. I'll be on tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I'm glad you had that in your purse. That's good. I'm happy for you. Yay. You know what I mean? But again, what you got in your purse ain't gonna do me no damn good. My Cash App is $ New Media Today USA. I'm on every day, 6 days a week. At 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. This is how you can get paid. I want to see the money. Show me proof of funds. I can't see what's in your purse. I care nothing about what's in your purse. Show me proof of funds. Let's make that bet. Let's make it happen. You see what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, hell, if you trust any of the LDB, like my main man Fred, I'm cool with Fred Barbershop, right? I'm cool with Fred Barbershop. If you like Fred Barbershop, hell, I can send Fred the 1,000. You can send him the 1,000. He'll hold it, and we can go like that. That's so ain't no funny business. And that's just one of my accounts. I didn't even show you the business account that I have. So, anyways, and I'm not saying that the brag or none of that. It ain't about that, because that ain't no money. That ain't no money at all. But I'm just saying, you saying bet $1,000, I got that. I ain't capping. I put my money where my mouth is. Like Park say, however you want it, you can get it. So, other than that, sis, we'll be on tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. My brother, Kid Stacy, is there anything you want to close the show with, sir?
No, brother. Just want to say thank you for letting me in on the panel. Salute to you, bruv. Keep up the good work, and I'll be tuning in tomorrow as well, G.
All right, thank you so much, sir, man. Let's ring the Ali Bell for my brother's Kid Stacy for taking the time out of his day to come rock with the old man, Coach Malik Williams. Salute to you, fam. We're going to wrap it up, man. We're going to go ahead and let's give everybody a shout out. We know how we do it. Let's give everybody a shout out. Shout out to my main man, Tom Bong. Shout out to Jeff Lucietta. Shout out to Johnny Blaze. Shout out to Michael Doyle. Shout out to my brother Halim, man. I love you, bro. Shout out to my brother Charlo. I love you, bro. Shout out to Joe B. Shout out to Wizard Sleeve. What's up, man? Shout out to Smile If You're Ugly. Shout out to Wole. What's going on, fam? Shout out to my co-host, Mr. Shelton Morris. My big brother Shelton Moore. He don't forgot more about the sport of boxing than I can remember. You see what I'm saying? That's how much that dude a walking encyclopedia. Shout out to my brother Troy Brown for Major Keep Boxing. Shout out to them. Let's ring the Ali Bell for them. Shout out to Jeff Lucietta. Shout out to Lisa Bells, my sister Lisa Bells. Let's ring the Ali Bell for Lisa Bells. Shout out to Carmen Serene as well. Shout out to Bon Scott. Shout out to Johnny Blaze. Shout out to what is it? Nautical Bleens. Okay, shout out to you, fam. Shout out to you. Oscar Parker. Shout out to you, fam. Do you support Foundation of Black Americans, Mr. Williams, or are you going to count for Uncle Tom AJ? Okay, Uncle Tom AJ. All right, okay. You know what, Oscar Parker? Say whatever you want to say, fam. I'm not even going to address that. This is the wrong channel. You probably need to go to the LDBC channels to get your daily dose of pro-black woke Wakandanness. This ain't the channel for that. I did that for 24 and a half years. Been there, done that. Anyways, Jeff Bickle, and I probably support more black businesses than you ever support. More than likely. I am a black business. I am a black business. I have a black business. I have a business in general. You see what I'm saying? So I don't give a damn I don't give a damn about money don't care nothing about skin color. We all need money, regardless of what country that you're in. We all need money to buy food, to pay our bills, and to take care of our families. So, whatever. You know what I mean? If I'm not pro-black enough for you, then you probably need to just go somewhere else to support your narrative. I'm not with the race baiting narrative. I'm not with the race hustling. But Foundation of Black Americans, that's on Tariq Nasheed, right? More than likely, FBA, yeah. Foundation of Black Americans and Yvette Carnell. I was a part. I ran with all of that before in the past, so I don't know where you're coming from with it. But go ahead. But shout out to Jarvis Bickle. Shout out to Jeff Lucietta. Shout out to Peter Barnarks. Shout out to Alan Skill. Shout out to Michael Doyle. Shout out to my brother Charlo. Shout out to Shane Marley. Shout out to Graham Taylor. Oh my God. Whenever you're ready, I'm through talking about that. Tyson Fury, 11th round stoppage. That's what I got. I'll be here every day, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I ain't going nowhere. Literally. The Joker, shout out to you. The Sanchez, shout out to you. Who else we have? J.H. Lethal, shout out to you. Triple X, shout out to you. Bon Scott, shout out to you. Jabril Bay, shout out to you. Daz B, shout out to you. Wole, shout out to you, fam. Tom Bong, shout out to you. Who else we have? Triple X, shout out to you, fam. My brother Shelton Moore, shout out to you once again. My co-host. I get that dude there so damn, when it comes to boxing, man, that dude is like a damn, oh yeah, shout out to my brother, was it Fred? Yeah, shout out to Kurt. Sorry about that. Shout out to Kurt, man. Shout out to my brother Kurt, man. Ring the Ali bell for Kurt. Ring the Ali bell for Troy. My brother Troy, man. Troy Graham. Shout out to Lisa Bells once again. Let's see who else we got. I think that's it. I think I got everybody. Bro D, shout out to you, fam. Who else we have? Shout out to Ope Yemi. Shout out to Wither Sleeve. Shout out to Fried Third Eye. Who else we have? Shout out to Mr. T. Shout out to Mickey C. Or Mikey C. Yeah, Mikey C. Sorry about that, fam. Who else we have? Shout out to Dave. Who else we have? I just want to make sure I get everybody before we go. Shout out to Sly Tennessee. Shout out to Shantae. Let's see. Who else we got? Shout out to Triple X. And I think that's it, man. I think that's it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you're a fanboy, this ain't the channel for you. We don't want you over here. I don't want you. Trust me, we don't want you over here. We only want fans who love the sport of boxing. You know, we'll be on tomorrow 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to cover my main man Shakur Stevenson. We gotta cover that fight. That is what's up this weekend. Shout out to UWAPO. Other than that, this is our boy Coach Malachi Williams, representing for New Media Today, USA Boxing. Signing out once again. Peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.